We are. Absolutely.
Yeah, I cannot hear him, so. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? I don't know.
I can hear you.
Are you there? I cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
But I can't hear him. I cannot.
No. I mean, just outwardly, not through the headset. Okay. Yeah, we'll make it work.
It's real difficult when you can't hear.
We'll make it work. We'll just have to look at each other's face, see who's talking.
You're calling
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Week 1 matchup from Firebirds Stadium here in Westchester between the Lakota West Firebirds and the St. Xavier Bombers. I'm Brent Phelan along with Dan Xavier, and we'll be calling the game for you tonight. Dan, pretty good matchup for Week 1.
Well, it is pretty exciting, although with the 9-game schedule in the GMC now where they play each other, you only get one non-scheduled game. So, yeah, I heard Coach Bolden talk about this before the game, and he was saying that he'd love to play all the GMC schools to start out early in the season, but you can't now because the GMC is going with the 9-game schedule. So, yeah, everywhere we've got big games, non-conference games all over the place. If you want to play something, and you don't have to really worry about the playoffs anymore because 18 teams in the region, 16 make it. So you win 2 games, you're pretty much in.
Yeah, it would be highly unlikely that both of these teams or either of these teams wouldn't make the playoffs this year. So last season ended for St. Xavier here at Firebird Stadium against Lakota West. So what has happened to all of them in the intervening 9 months?
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you're the coach, you're going to remind them of that. It's great bulletin board kind of fodder, and they ended it, let's get revenge kind of thing. But, I don't know how much that's going to go tonight, Brent. As you know, the years you've coached, I don't know how much that really helps. I don't know how much that really helps, as you go on through all the years, and do you really get them up and excited about that? St. X knows they lost to West last year. They're great kids and they're well coached, and they're going to come prepared to play any way you look at it. I mean, they'll Spec will have these guys ready to play, and this is going to be a Titanic struggle tonight. 2 well coached teams with a lot of talent. You and I were talking about this before the game, Brent. There's so much talent out there. I mean, there's, the entire defensive backfield of Lakota West are Division I type players. At least, 4 or 5 of the 6, are going to Notre Dame, Ohio State. That makes you a little freer when you're calling defensive plays, when you know those guys are back there and you can play zone, you can play man-to-man, don't have to worry about it. So that makes West defense very strong.
So when we look at these two teams, it looks like from a roster perspective and looking at the starting lineup for St. Xavier, it looks like about half seniors, half sophomore juniors.
Right.
So, a decent amount of experience, but
right.
but quite a bit of youth as you go back into that second 2D.
I think you're right. It's going to be interesting because both teams lost a lot last year from both those teams playing the playoffs. Obviously, West has 6 returning starters on defense, 5 on offense. And I'm guessing that St. X is probably somewhere in those same kind of numbers. Maybe a little less. I think they lost a little more than West did. So I think you made the comment earlier that West is returning as strong as they were last year. St. X may be slightly down from what they were last year. But I don't care who you are. When you play a GCL team, you better strap it on and be ready to play football.
So it'll be interesting. You know, we tend to see from Lakota West, over the last few years, they put some star defensive talent on offense. They put them at wide receiver.
Right.
St. X is known for playing man-to-man on the outside. Obviously quite a challenge when you're talking about a 6'3" Malik Hartford, one of the top 100 players in the country, going to Ohio State.
Well, I mean, I think, and again, we talked about this earlier today, and that is, if they're going to play man-to-man on the outside like they normally do, that's, you know, how do you play man-to-man against Malik? You know, those kids going to Ohio State, kids going to Notre Dame, those kind of athletes, you run them down the field, and then you come underneath with kids like Trent, you know, Lloyd, and great players. How do you stop that? And then you have the dual threat at quarterback of Bolden. Mitch Bolden's been there now, a 4-year starter. He runs the ball, he throws the ball. That makes it really difficult to defend this team.
Now I assume, Dan, the one thing that St. X did the last couple of years, they had Ted Hammond, who's a defensive player, made a lot of plays for him. He's at the end now.
Right.
So I guess that's probably one of the best ways you impact the passing game.
Well,
right?
If you
don't give him much time to throw.
Yeah, if you want to live a long time, you find out where the 6'5", 250-pound guy is, and you go the other way. So if I'm Mitch Bolden, the first thing I find out is where that guy is to know I'm not going to run that way. Hammond's an incredibly good defender. He's in the top 25 in the city for, you know, players, not just defensive linemen, but for overall total talent in the city. He's made the top 25. So he's going to be a guy you'll hear from. And what number is he?
He's 97.
97. I'm sure you'll see that number quite a bit. I'm sure he's going to give Bolden a lot of trouble on pass rush because, as we were talking about earlier, and you could talk a little bit about this because you've seen him play, West is rebuilding that offensive line. They lost 3 of their 5 starters. They returned 2. But that's hard. That's going to, offensive line's how you win in football.
So what's also interesting, and we can share a little bit now, there's a lot of names that are probably a little bit memorable in Southwest Ohio on the St. Xavier 2 deep. You see starting at left tackle, a sophomore Tucker Caddis. His brother Justin, who's a junior, starts on defense. Eric Caddis played at Michigan for the Bengals.
Know the name well.
Right, their sons. I see Gordy Solstead is a second-team defensive end. His dad, Alex, played, I believe, at Miami and then for the Bengals a little bit.
Right.
P.J. Rose, yes, that is Pete Rose's grandson. So, there's certainly some names out there. And for maybe not quite down Southwest Ohio, but, Chase Herbstreit, the son of somebody who played up at Centerville back in the day and over in Columbus. So a lot of somewhat famous names.
To be a pretty decent announcer. He probably wouldn't hold a candle to you, but he's pretty good in his own right. So, a lot of talent out there. And then West has at least 4 or 5 kids that are going to Division I, large Division I, not just, normal Division I, but, schools like Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Northwestern, right?
Northwestern.
Josh Fossel is committed to Northwestern.
Smart. And a lot of those kids were being, recruited by teams like Stanford. So that tells you they're pretty smart kids if they're being recruited by the likes of those guys.
So looks like Lakota West will be kicking off, going from right to left on your TV screen. The kicker, again this year, returning starter, is Tyler Bond. Tyler's a lefty, but has a strong leg. So, and he kicks it. It's going to be right near the goal line, and it's in, which, again, in high school, automatic touchback, whether it's on the ground or in the air. So St. X will start first and 10 from their own 20.
West with, good special teams. I mean, the kid kicks it to the end zone, and those are things we talked about. Short of, special teams, touchdowns, mistakes, execution problems, this should be a relatively low-scoring game. So good to have a kicker that can put the ball in the end zone. You have to worry about return kicks.
So a couple people to note on the Lakota West defense as they wait for the offense to come out there. Elijah Davis, number 90, made a lot of big plays last year. Also, not a returning starter for Lakota West, but Tebron Benny Powell played a heck of a lot for Lakota East last year. Moved over and transferred. So here St. X goes. Quarterback, number 10, a junior, Jack O'Malley in the shotgun. Going to hand the ball off.
Pressure out the bat. Wow.
Great penetration.
Great penetration. And was that Elijah Davis on that penetrator? I couldn't quite see the number.
Try to get a quick back look at that. The running back on that play was number 4, and that's Stephen Napier, who's a 5'10", 195-pound junior running back. Right back to the line of scrimmage here is O'Malley.
No
He's going to roll to his left. Offsides on Lakota West, so they were able to go quickly.
Well, they were going back to huddle, and the X went right to the line. Kind of
so
threw him off
after the 8-yard loss on first down, the 5-yard penalty is going to make it 2nd and 13. But still a pretty good start for Lakota West.
Yeah, still a good start. But I'm sure Bolden will go crazy. Tom will not like that. He's a good coach, doesn't like mental mistakes. Why give a team like St. X 5 extra yards when you don't have to? But they lined up off sides. And again, they weren't ready. They were not. They went back in the defensive huddle, and obviously St. X came right out with a no huddle.
And I think that first play for Lakota West was made by Gabe Flores. 97 is the one who got the penetration.
Okay.
So O'Malley in the shotgun again. Running back's going to go wide. No backs on. Back to pass. Got some time. Bounces the ball out to the intended receiver, number 82. That would be the flanker, Jamal Sharp. So 3rd and 13.
Well covered, though. And, I mean, if you're going to try and make a living throwing the ball against West, you're going to have a long day.
You sure are.
About before, the strength of this defense is in the secondary. I mean, they've got some Division I talent back there that I would not feel comfortable throwing at it.
So we'll see what Lakota West does here. Didn't get much pressure that time, but looked like great coverage across the field and low throw. So here goes.
Luckily, you don't need a lot of pressure when you got DBs like this.
So 3rd and 13. O'Malley is going to, once again, no backs with him in the backfield. Taking a little bit more time. Back to pass. Just straight back. He's going to throw it downfield. Oh, wow. So a completion to 82 Sharp. Looked like he's going to be run down on the play at the 22-yard line, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for St. X, and looked like the defenders were in great position.
Just got behind the corner.
Just
good play.
Misplayed it a bit, right? So St. X right to the line of scrimmage again here as Lakota West gets downfield.
After talking about the ballyhoo defensive backs, they give up a big play.
So O'Malley back. He's going to roll right. Looks like he's going to try to throw now.
He's going to try and run the ball.
Tuck and running, and actually lowered his shoulder. Got about 3. It looks like they're going to mark him, so it'll be 2nd and 6 right at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, if that's a quarterback putting that shoulder down trying to run over, they're not going to live long. You don't want to run in too much. You don't want to see your quarterback putting his shoulder down and running into people, especially your right shoulder when you're a right-arm quarterback.
So 2nd and 7. The marking is almost exactly on the 20-yard line here for St. X. You can see some good size there on the line. They switch formations from right to left, strong side. One back in the backfield with O'Malley. Here they come back. He's going to try to run up the middle. Good little cutback from number 4 again, and it looks like we're seeing a pretty good dose of Stephen Napier. Looks like they're going to give him about 5 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 2, right back to line of scrimmage.
St. X kind of changing this up.
A lot of tempo. A lot of tempo here from St. X to start.
Very much tempo.
Running straight up the middle, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Still on his feet. Driven backwards, but he's going to get inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for St. X.
He gets about the 9-yard line before the safety came up and put a licking on him. But, yeah, with St. X moving the ball, but most of it through a big play. Came up with a big play, and the receiver was run down before he could score. So West trying to bow its back and keep St. X out of the end zone. But a mighty task right here, right off the bat.
So here they go, 1st and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. O'Malley and Napier in the backfield.
X in a tight formation.
Fakes right, going to try to bootleg. Great defense there, right? Great pressure right in his face.
Wow, big play.
Nice play from number 3. That's Tabron Benny Powell, who we mentioned played at Lakota East last year. So bootleg, right? They had a little bit of success up the middle with Napier. Fake to him. When O'Malley opened back up to his left, right in his face was Benny Powell, and nothing to do but flip the ball in the air for an incompletion. 2nd and 9 for Lakota West.
Actually, play by the St. Xavier quarterback. Ran a lot of play action there, a lot of action going on, but did not fool Benny Powell.
So for the first time tonight, we're going to see O'Malley under center. Kind of a traditional lead to Napier. If you saw that, they brought the tight end, number 87, Luke Clare, in motion. and he was just like an old-style fullback. Led the tailback Napier for a small gain. It's going to now be 3rd down and goal from just inside the 8-yard line.
So, again, we're going to see 3rd down, and you're going to test that defensive backfield, I'm guessing, right here on 3rd and goal from the 6-7 yard line. You almost have to throw the football here, don't you think, Brent?
I sure think you got to throw it. And here's been the one challenge is Lakota West has not got much pressure. Fairly quick throws, but a couple times he's gotten enough time to try to find somebody. Here we go. O'Malley back to throw. Not much there. There's a little bit of pressure from Elijah Davis. Almost intercepted. Good pressure from number 90, Elijah Davis. O'Malley did a nice job of keeping the play alive. Tried to throw the ball into the left corner of the end zone, and it was cut off. That's number 13, Ben Minnick. Minnick is the gentleman we mentioned earlier, is committed to the University of Notre Dame. So nice play by Minnick. Couldn't hold on to it, but it would have been an almost impossible catch there as he was diving into the corner.
I think the contain or concern me there, again, no pass rush, but also no contain on that backside. He was going to run out. There was nobody out there. He probably could have ran the ball.
Number 31 attempting the field goal for St. X. Down, kicks up. Looks like it's good. Not a crazy amount of leg on that one, but it's good just the same. That's
for 3.
That's 3 points. So with 8:12 to go here in the first quarter, St. X drives down the field for a field goal to lead 3-0. Starting from their own 20 and 3rd and 13.
I know.
On their before they even got a first down, and boy, one big play.
I mean, that is just confounding, for that to happen. You can't let that happen. The corner stepped up, and the guy got behind him. How do you let anybody behind you on 3rd and 13?
It looked like he thought he was in position for an interception, and unfortunately undercut the route just a bit too much.
And West is very good at interceptions. They have the league leader return where he had 6, and each of the starting DBs had at least 2 INTs last year. 3 of them had pick 6s. So, very good at that, but, boy, he underestimated the arm of the quarterback and cost him.
So St. X will be kicking off to Lakota West. We'll see what Lakota West can do on offense. So, Dan, a little bit of a early wake-up call for Lakota West. Right? Everybody's been talking about that secondary, and secondary gave up a 63-yard pass play.
Yeah, that's a problem if you're West. You're right. The strength of this defense is the secondary, and the secondary is what let them down a little bit right there by giving up that big, long, 63-yard pass to start this game after they had West. They had St. X backed up. So they were going to have to punt inside their own 10, 15-yard line.
Liam Miller lining up to kick for St. X. Going to kick the ball a little bit to the side. Looks like Giovanni Wilson, 26, returns it out around the 20. See where they mark that, just past the 25-yard line. Looks like the 27. So Lakota West is going to get decent field position. Start the offense. So what would we expect to see from Lakota West offense this year?
Well, it's interesting. They'll again, I think you'll see them spread it out a little bit. I think, they can run. What surprised me since Tom's gotten here is he ran exclusively triple option at Coleraine. He hasn't done that here. He's got his son who passes the ball pretty well and also runs. So here you are spread, 2 wide outs, 1 guy in the back, 2 guys in the backfield. So you're going to fake that and let him throw, open up with a bomb.
So you're going to throw, got him open. Looked like he stumbled a little bit there, didn't run through the pattern. Pretty good throw from Mitch Bolden, number 7, the quarterback. Mitch has offers as well for Division I.
Well, that's the second
We're going to see a replay there. You're
a GMC school where they
you're going to see he did get behind the defender, but ball was maybe a little more outside than he was expecting. Not sure where the pattern he was supposed to be.
Much to your point there, Brent, they were in man.
And that's been Steve Speck traditional right on the outside. We're going to have man. We'll see what they do here. 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Bolden back, quick throw to Remy. You probably see a good dose of that also. That's Brennan Remy who catches it for about 5 yards.
That's as good as a running play right there. It's hard to beat that quick.
And and he's just going to, you'll see him here on the bottom of the screen. He's just going to run straight at the guy, turn around and catch it. And you know what? Unless somebody gets in between the quarterback and the receiver there with the timing, there's nothing the defensive back can do.
Or with one-on-one, if he breaks tackle, he may be able to go somewhere.
So here we go. Just like St. Xavier, Lakota West is going to have a 3rd down on their first possession. 3rd and about 5. So Bolden fakes up the middle, throws the ball. I think it got tipped early.
He hit him a little early.
Yeah, I think the ball was tipped. He intended for number 13, Ben Minnick. I think we would see that ball got tipped around the line of scrimmage, so the contact wasn't.
The contact was a little bit early, it looked like, and you hear the crowd react to it, but you're right, the ball got tipped.
We'll see that. See if we – yep. You can see the spin turns. I think it definitely hit the defensive lineman here in the middle. See him leap right there, and definitely the ball turns. So Lakota West will be punting. So good stand for St. X.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brent, for my first few years of doing TV here at Lakota West, I can't remember.
Good high punt. That's going to be a fair catch called. Going to be caught from St. X. So question was whether or not the Lakota West player got in the way. Looks like that's Malik Hartford, number 1 down there. They're not going to call that.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to, but he's got to get out of the way.
Well, and he did have contact with the blocker before he went there. Now I'm not sure that he wouldn't have hit him anyway.
I don't know, but the guy did kind of push him as he went by. So the official thought that it was no attempt to get in the way. He tried to avoid him.
And the other thing I noticed, Dan, if you notice the official, he moved his arm to the left. What he was saying is the guy's calling a fair catch at one spot and then moved over 3 feet to catch the ball. Gotcha. How could you know where he's going to be?
Exactly.
So 1st and 10 for Lakota or for St. X from their own 22-yard line. See what happens this time if Lakota West can do a little bit better on defense. Good hole up the middle. Napier's going to run that one for 7 yards.
Now they're getting a good push from that offensive line up the middle. That's been their offense other than the one pass play. So I'm going to say Speck's going to stay on the ground here. I mean, why wouldn't he not? That was an 8-yard gain to make it second and 2.
Right back up the middle. Flag on the play early on. Good run. Another second flag. So we'll see what we have. It looks like an illegal shift or a false start on the offense for sure on this side. Not sure if there's anything different on the far side.
Procedure just called.
Yeah, so we're going to get 2nd and 8.
So that's a dead ball foul, so the second flag won't mean anything unless it was the same thing. So now
and it may just been he was a little bit slower throwing the flag.
It could be. And they were trading penalties now. So 5 against X, 5 against West.
So here we go, 2nd and 8 for St. Xavier. So, but another solid run.
Very much so. I mean, 2 really good runs, although they did get a little quick start on it, I guess. But in any event, St. X looking like they would be able to run the ball up the middle right now.
So very tight formation for X. Everybody within about 7 yards of the center. Fullback leading the tailback. Nice defense. And that's what we expect from Lakota West, right? Yes. I mean, they can play the pass and they can play the run. And
they're kind of running that stretch play, and Lakota West holding their defensive player coming off of it and make a good play there. And this is where West wants to keep them. If you can put them in 3rd and long, that plays right into West's hands as long as you don't, misplay the guy and let him behind you on 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 10. So far this game has been a battle, right? St. X completed their first 3rd down for a long play. Lakota West didn't. So here we go again, St. X with their next 3rd down.
3rd and long going in motion. They have not shown any wideouts.
Looks like a nice fake. If you can tackle him one-on-one, great play.
Great play by defense coming up and making that play.
I think that's 11. Was that Jacob Asbeck?
Just kind of read that, sniffed it out, and came up and made a super play on that.
Yeah, so we're going to see number 11, Jacob Asbeck, the Joker. You're going to see it. I tell you, I mean, there was an opportunity. If he could have got past him, definitely could have got a few more yards. I don't know if he would have got the remaining 9 for the first down, but nice defensive play. And if you saw that formation, they tried to run everybody off deep and then have that back underneath. So St. X back to punt. Looks like number 14, Brennan Remy, back to return the punt, standing just inside his own 40-yard line. So see what happens here. Snap, short kick, straight up in the air. If that hits the ground, it's probably going to bounce back.
Yeah, got to get away from it.
Grabbed by St. X at their own 42.5-yard line. So, wow.
Special teams. Here it is right here.
Great opportunity for Lakota West.
Teams playing, coming into play right here on a short punt, giving Lakota West great field position inside the St. X 50-yard line.
So with the athletes that you have on the outside for Lakota West, do you try, turnover, right, quick change? Do you try to go deep this first play?
Well, you've thrown the ball 3 straight times. Why not try a little bit of a run to football here? Maybe roll out Bolden and let him run a little bit, drop him back, and then pick a seam and go.
So there you go, quarterback draw.
Yeah, perfect.
And as you mentioned earlier tonight, very rarely does Mitch Bolden go backwards when he's tackled
No.
running the ball. So there he lowered his shoulder, and, I mean, he is your power runner, right?
He's very physical.
That's 4 yards right up the middle.
But that's a very effective play. I remember Princeton used to do that with with Daniels back when he played for Princeton. Just let him drop back a little bit, pick a hole, and go through it, and it's tough to account for that quarterback.
And it also makes the defense wonder a little bit more about what you're doing. Same play again. You see the running back was the lead there. That's going to be a first down for Lakota West. He's going to get about another 7 or 8 yards on the play. Nice lead block there if you saw coming across the formation, number 24. And that is Gonzalez.
West picks up their first down on 2 straight running plays.
So it almost works like an old trap, right? When he comes back across and defensive lineman thought he was unblocked.
They don't even have a running back behind him. The running backs are all up front.
So here they go on the jet sweep. A little bit of a change of pace there. Nice cut. He's going to, again, 5 or 6 yards.
That's all you want to do. You get 5 or 6 yards on every play, you'll find yourself in the end zone pretty quick.
And this is 26, Giovanni Wilson. You see him come from the left side. Right here, a little hesitation, just enough to freeze a defender, and a nice cut back inside the block.
Little surprise on this, though. They ran right at Hammond's, number 97, but I guess they figure with that speed they get outside of him.
You know, and sometimes that's the best thing to do, right? A guy that, especially a guy that likes to pass rush, is run straight toward him because
slow him down a little bit on the rush.
All right, here we go. So 2nd and 5 for Lakota West. Getting a little bit of confusion in the backfield. One back next to Bolden. Here comes motion back the other way. So faked the same play to the opposite side, only this time Bolden keeps it himself and is going to advance for another first down.
All the motion, which I love in high school football, all the motion went to the left. Faked the running play. Everything went left. Defense is flowing that way, and then you send him back right. Kind of a counter play.
It is. If you think of the quarterback as a running back, that's the counter, right? They fake to the guy going left, and then he goes back to the right. It's just sometimes hard to visualize because it's the quarterback. Not in the old days where we'd have 2 running backs, one goes one way and one goes the other.
And they pick up the first down.
But 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line with 2:32 to go here in the first quarter. St. X leading.
Kind of moved already into field goal range at this point with Bond, that big strong leg he's got.
Looks like a false start called on Lakota West. I'm guessing it looks like Hartford out on the left side.
Yeah, why is he moving? He doesn't need to move.
Moved, or at least that's what they signaled, that number 1 was the guy moving. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Lakota West. And, boy, those are the tough ones, right, when you're successfully running the ball.
Right, which puts you out of phase. I mean, you're just not in phase now. Now it's hard to run the ball when you got 1st and 15. It's not the ideal situation to be running constantly. Although I don't think Bolden's afraid to run on these downs. Well,
what's interesting, though, is all 11 St. X players are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Oh, absolutely.
So they are, and they're playing man on the outside. I mean, they are presuming they can either get pressure or you're not going to be able to beat them to the outside. Good pressure in the middle. Intercepted.
And that was from the pressure.
That was from the pressure. He's going to return it out just past the 30-yard line, so that'll be 1st and 10 St. X. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
First turnover of the game.
I'm not sure where he was throwing the football to. He did a good job hanging in there on the pressure, but I'm not sure where he was going to with that. There's not even a black player or a black jersey in the picture.
It was about 5 yards short of where the receiver was, and looked like he was fairly well covered. So I'm not sure that was going to be an outstanding
just threw that away.
Opportunity anyway. So, wow, that was a big play there for St. X. As you just mentioned, I mean, Lakota West looked like they were in field goal range at a minimum. Actually, they were a 1st and 10. They get the penalty, takes them off rhythm. They try to throw the ball, and now it's 1st and 10 St. X at the 31.
Yeah, it's just execution. You know, you're moving the football, and you cannot
just
allow.
Just nothing in that middle of the Lakota West defensive line that time.
Everyone there. But
So
it looks like Speck thought he's found a soft spot in that defense. He's going to try, and he's trying to exploit that. But West does a good job up front this time.
So that, once again, coming off that left side is Tabron Benny Powell. And he's just closed down on the running back and got it for a yard loss. So 2nd and 11 for St. X.
Here much ballyhooed, and he's a good football player.
Interesting. A little confusion there. Caught for about a 5-yard gain. We'll see where they mark it. Maybe 6. It's going to be 3rd and middle.
That was all scheme. I mean, Speck came up and snapped it right away, and West wasn't ready for it. I mean,
and got
he's
no
doing
pressure.
Everything he can do to win this game on little stuff like that. No huddle, quick snap.
Going to run the ball right up the middle. See if he fell. Oh, nice job. I tell you, that's just a nice play. That's number 10, Drew Minnick, brother of Ben Minnick, and he made a nice play off the left corner to come down there and tackle him for just a small gain. 39-yard line, 4th and 2. There's no way you can go for it here. I mean, you just got the advantage of a turnover. Don't you need to?
All I can see him trying to do is draw them off sides.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have to make them get back those yards. Otherwise you could be wasting the interception.
Yeah, that would be a huge mistake by not getting, especially against this defense.
So
I don't think he wants to take that chance this early in the game with a 3-point lead. You make West earn it because West has not done much offensively. They've run the ball pretty good in the last series, but
better punt themselves. Better punt this time. Remy comes up, calls the fair catch, going to catch it around the 32-yard line. See where they spot it. So it'll be first and 10 Lakota West with 26 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So Lakota West, I mean, I assume you're going to say we're going to try to do what we were doing last series before we made a mistake, or 2 mistakes really, right? The penalty, and then the threw it to the defense.
Well, West is starting out the season the way they ended last year, which was making some mistakes that hurt them in the game. I mean, last year the 2 snaps over the head and the 2 drop footballs cost them that game, and those are just execution errors. So hopefully they'll get this washed out of their system. It is early in the season, so it's the time for all this happens.
So Bolden back.
Nobody in the backfield.
Going to take it. He's going to run that again. I tell you, that's 3 times out of the last 4 plays. Didn't fool anybody that time.
Same formation, same play.
And you saw number 97, Hammond, didn't rush as aggressively, so he was able to close down the line of scrimmage and catch Bolden for no gain.
A little bit. I mean, again, we talked about the offensive line, and he was under pressure when he threw the interception. Offensive line's going to have to play good. They're going to have to keep St. X off of him.
So at the end of one quarter from Firebirds Stadium, it is the St. X Bombers 3 and Lakota West nothing. We'll be right back.
I can't hear. Oh, there we go.
This is Brent Phelan and Dan Xavier back at Firebird Stadium for this Week 1 matchup between St. X and Lakota West. So after a quarter, a little bit of surprise, perhaps. St. X leading 3-0. Couple mistakes, miscues from Lakota West have hurt them both on the defense and the offensive side.
Well, it's in my opinion so far, St. X really hasn't done a whole lot on either side of the ball other than take advantage of Lakota West miscues. I mean, the whole getting behind the kid for the big 63-yard pass was just a mistake on their corner's part. They get all the way down, they run the football, they're doing it well, they make a mistake, get a illegal procedure call that puts them in a bad situation when you're running the ball, and that takes them out of field goal range, and they throw an interception. So West just needs to control its mistakes and do a better job, and they'll win the football game. West looks like the better team, the more dominant team. They're just making mistakes.
So 2nd and 10. Bolden rolls right. He's going to throw the ball and throws it out of bounds. Had number 13. Looks like they're Ben Minnick. We do have a penalty flag on the play. Looks like an eligible man downfield on Lakota West. See what you do. Do you 3rd and 10, or do you want to move them back a little bit but give them 2nd down?
I don't know. The way they're playing right now, I think I'd leave them at 3rd and 10. They haven't really shown a lot to be able to throw the football, but I guess maybe, you got the interception, so put some pressure on him. Maybe he'll make another mistake.
Looks like they're going to decline the penalty. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 32-yard line for Lakota West. A lot of substitutions there for St. X, but Lakota West looks a little unsure of themselves. They're kind of in a staggered non-huddle. There we go. See what can happen here. So big play for Lakota West. 3rd down and 10.
My guess is you're going to run the quarterback again. Why risk an interception here? You're in your own stuff.
Oh, he's back to pass. Going to throw the ball downfield. Oh, looked pretty good. Couldn't pull it in, unfortunately, there for Lakota West. Couldn't tell that was Josh Fussell. Don't know if that was a little bit behind him. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, he had a guy in the middle of the field wide open. I can't quite pick his number out with his son.
See, this one looked like he zipped it right in there. It looks like it was very catchable for a 1st down. Yeah. So, disappointing attempt there.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell, but they had a receiver over the middle at about 7 yards that if he hits him, he gets, 1st down and more.
Ben Minnick back to punt for Lakota West here. 4th and 10. Looks like a lot of confusion on the St. X side now.
Boy, this son.
So they're going to take a timeout.
Stadium wasn't thinking about putting the home side on this. The home side on looking directly into the sun.
So that time, Dan, we had a 3 and out for Lakota West.
Again, second out of, they've had the ball 3 times, and unfortunately had 2 3 and outs.
And so it looks like Lakota West they're just a little out of sync, right? I mean, it looks like it's more about their failed plays than St. X. What do you think? Or is that just the mark of a good defense?
I think it's just not executing. They're not catching passes. They're jumping off sides. They're letting guys get behind them when they shouldn't. I mean, it's just execution issue, all fixable stuff. I mean, they're not getting physically manhandled by X by any stretch of imagination. They're just not executing the way they should, Brett, in my opinion, and I think that's hurting them. Just like it did against Moeller last year. They were the better team against Moeller last year, and Moeller took advantage of a lot of mistakes and ended up winning the game. So, as West gets ready to punt here, I have a question for you, though, Brent. Do you see what they're trying to do offensively? I can't figure. Are they trying to run the ball? Are they trying to throw the ball? What exactly is the game plan, do you think?
So good solid punt we'll start with from Ben Minnick. Fair caught by St. X at their own 27-yard line. They'll have 1st and 10. It looks to me like Lakota West is trying to use the pass to open up the run a bit. And unfortunately, they haven't been very successful throwing the ball.
If they completed a pass, other than that short little turn-in pass, they haven't completed a pass. So they've got one completion for about 4 or 5 yards, and that's not putting the fear in anybody right now. I think they need to do what we talked about, is run those guys deep and then have Lloyd come up underneath them and throw the ball to them.
And I don't know. I don't think we've seen Trent yet. Oh, they're going to try deep again. That's 82. Great throw.
Wow.
That is an outstanding throw there.
That was an incredible throw.
Yeah, he led him away from the defense. Kudos to O'Malley. It was man coverage out there. 82 was running, and with the defender, you were going to see it here, and he just threw it to where led his receiver into open field. So really nice play there.
And he almost broke it there.
They're going to right up the middle. Napier is going to have another nice run, and boy, that tempo's been good for St. X.
They really have.
Right?
And, again, a sign of a well-coached football team is they're changing it up. They don't let you get into kind of a rhythm. They make you think about what they're doing. They make you play their game.
So a gain of more than 10 for Napier. It's going to be a 1st and 10 around the 14-yard line. They're going to try that once again. It looks like there's a penalty, false start. So maybe shooting themselves in the foot a bit. It's going to be 1st and 15.
Well, sometimes when you're trying to outcoach yourself like that, where you're getting in tempo and you're changing up, sometimes you huddle, sometimes you don't. You can get mistakes like that from especially high school kids.
So that's Jamal Sharp's second long catch. And again, coverage was decent. It's just that the ball was thrown ahead of him.
Such a well-thrown ball, especially from a guy rolling to his left, stopping and throwing back right. Against some pressure, the guy was coming underneath, but he delivered a perfect pass.
So O'Malley back under center for one of the few times tonight. They're going to fake the ball to the right. He's going to bootleg left. He's going to throw the ball. Looks like he's got a tight end open. He held on for the touchdown.
He did.
Nice play design.
Well, they look like they're running play action very effectively. I mean, they're running the ball up the middle for effective yards. And now when they run that, West is biting on the play action. And that tight end was wide open. No linebacker in the same zip code.
They had receivers at 3 levels there.
Right.
And they looked like West had him covered the short and the deep, but the guy in the middle.
Which is a well-designed play. It's allowing your quarterback to pick out who's open.
And to see all 3 receivers in one read.
Rolling right to all 3 of them.
St. X for the extra point. Good pressure, but the kick is up and through. So with 10:56 to go.
Yeah, you see, they go action, everything to the right, got misdirection going, then they roll the quarterback out, and they're wide open. Well-designed play. that's all you can say about that.
A lot of bobbles, but he was able to hold on for the touchdown.
And like I said, they get everybody going to the right, and then bring the ball back to the left on a boot, and they bring the receivers all into the right-hand side or left-hand side, wide open.
Wow. So St. X, good design so far, right? The tempo.
And beating Lakota West with the pass. I mean, that is, and they're doing a little better job setting up the pass with the run. I mean, as we talked about, the play action's working because of that. But, yeah, St. X a little surprising with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. I wouldn't expect it a 10-0 West or St. X lead.
So it'll be interesting for Lakota West, right? You need to reset yourself.
Well, no reason to panic here, Brent. I mean, you got 3 quarters of football left or 2 quarters and 10 minutes of football left. If you score here, you know, the game, you're right back in the game. But West needs to show some life on offense here, I believe. So if nothing else, they need to score before the half.
Yeah. So what was interesting to me is up to that point, I would have said it was more about Lakota West mistakes. That was more about great execution from St. X.
That was great execution. Speck doing a nice job controlling tempo, getting West a little bit uncomfortable and playing his game.
So kicks it off. It's going to be a relatively short kick, but he catches it as he steps out of bounds. Oh, a mistake.
What are you thinking?
From Lakota West. Wow, so 26 caught the ball, but he caught the ball right on the sideline, so it would have been a kickoff out of bounds. And unfortunately, that means Lakota West will start right where Giovanni Wilson fell out of bounds at the, looks like just inside their own 10-yard line. So
man,
a little bit of a mental error.
That's the stuff that drives you nuts, isn't it, as a coach? I mean, why trapped against the sidelines do you do that when Giovanni Wilson, and you catch the ball and go out of bounds on the 10?
So that's one of those where you just maybe don't have a great idea of exactly where you are on the field.
It's the kind of stuff that just, it hurts your team. It just hurts you so bad. You know, things aren't going well for him. Momentum's not on your side, and you do that.
So here goes Bolden. He's going to follow the jet sweep guy. So Roy, like almost a student body right, and there's nothing there. He maybe got a yard. Looks like he's still going to be inside the 10-yard line, so maybe
they're not doing
maybe he got a yard.
Guys that Brent, I mean, they're just running.
We'll see that again. So you're going to see it here. Quarterback's just going to take it, follow the.
Off. I mean, they're not doing. There's no running back. They don't even have to worry about a running back.
So both the motion guy and the running back were the lead blockers, but St. X 4 or 5 guys right there, and that's one where they rated at Hammond 97, and he definitely held the point of attack.
Yeah, there's not a lot of imagination in the fact when you don't have a running back to hand the football to.
So here's Bolden back to pass. Oh boy, he's fumbled it. Looks like Lakota West jumped on it.
Lucky there, because that could have been ball game there.
You know, and that was interesting. You know, I would say that Mitch Bolden had a little bit of time, but he had to move. It wasn't a clean pocket, right? So instead of being able to continue to look downfield, he had people around him that he had to navigate.
Well, I think you got to realize if you're
you're going to see it's not like heavy pressure, but he has to move. You're going to see 98 right up the middle.
Swim move by 98.
Just enough, yeah, just enough. And even after he got around him, he was able to get it. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 11 for Lakota West inside their 10-yard line.
It's hard to throw on this. If you're going to throw something here, you need to go screen or something underneath. Like I said, that guy over the middle was wide open on the last one.
He's going to be south. See if it looks like perhaps a safety. No, they're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Oh, man.
So right off the get-go there, it looked like he had to reach left to catch the snap and just got out of sort. I feel like I keep saying that. They're just a little bit out of sync, a little bit out of sorts, and they're struggling quite a bit to make anything happen. I mean, that ball is barely out of the end zone. So they are going to be punting from the back line.
Yeah, this is tough because your punter has to stand right on the back line. So
shorter than his normal depth. And really, a lot of this was because they made a mistake on special teams and had to start the ball at the 9.
Yeah, they're 10 yards back, and normally on a punt you're 13. And he's, in the end zone. So tough punt to get out of this.
So it's interesting. There's only I don't know why you would – if they call a delay a game. Now, it looks like Lakota West maybe took the timeout. I don't know why.
Yeah, delay a game moves you back. What?
They couldn't move the ball with the delay game, right? There's
quarter of an inch maybe.
So, yeah. So we'll look at this last play again, or 2 plays ago.
Fumble, I think.
So you see the ball was just a little bit to his left.
He has to step up,
and that's it. And right off the
safety. Yeah, he was standing there when they hit him.
He's pretty fortunate there. I mean, I'll give him the credit that his foot was out of the end zone. I'm not sure the ball was.
He did not cross the line with all 3 points.
But you see the snap was just to his left hand and led him right into to number 38 there coming off the side.
Yeah,
that's Noah Beck with a nice play.
Across, so he was not in the end zone.
All right, so here we go again. 4th and 18 from inside their own 1-yard line. Lakota West back to punt. And it will be hard to imagine that St. X won't get great field position out of this. The return man is standing inside the Lakota West 40-yard line.
Well, if you're St. X with 8:42 left and making you punt out your own end zone, you got to feel pretty good about this.
Good punt. He was able to get it over the side, but nice job by the return man. He's going to return it close to the 30-yard line. So absolutely outstanding field position for St. X. They're going to start the ball at Lakota West 30-yard line.
Very smart play by the St. X return man to just, field the ball, get as much as you can, and give your offense the ball in great field position. So, Lakota West punter couldn't do much there, but I got to tell you what, if you'd have told me that St. X would get the ball on the 30-yard line with a 10-point lead, 8-something to go in the half, I would have called you crazy, but here we are.
So O'Malley back under center, 1st and 10. He's going to hand the ball to a new running back there. He's going to carry the ball, gain of a good 5 yards.
Yeah, I tell you, St. X is doing a good job executing their game plan.
That looks like
running straight dive, but that's working out on holding the defense.
So
play action.
21, Gage Patrick with his first carry backs up Stephen Napier. Not sure if Napier's out for any reason or just getting him a breather here.
Could be.
So 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line of Lakota West.
Or just maybe playing with the minds of the defensive coach.
So here O'Malley rolls left, hands the ball out. More traditional running play there and a late flag. So the gain was about 3 yards. See what this late flag in the middle, that's usually a hold.
Kind of came from a holding,
right?
You would see a hold, especially when you're blocking that long and holding.
So
stretch plays are famous for getting an offensive lineman to hold.
So big mistake potentially there for St. X, right? It would have been 3rd and 1.5 near Lakota West 20, and now we're going to move that back quite a bit. So there's the holding call. They're going to walk it back to the 35-yard line.
So that moves them back more than where they ended up.
See here, we're going to see somebody on the backside. See what they...
Right there, tackled the guy.
So 2nd and 15 for St. X.
It looked like X's guard just tackled the flowing linebacker.
Back to the shotgun. One back, Patrick goes wide right. See if anybody stays with him. Good pressure finally from Lakota West. Threw the ball over all the receivers and the defenders there. So good pressure finally from Lakota West.
Got some pressure on him. Might have brought an extra player on that.
And really good coverage downfield. The guy he intended was Patrick, who was coming out of the backfield.
Well, if you're Lakota West, you got to find 82 and find out where he is and make sure he doesn't get open.
So 3rd and 15 from the 35-yard line. So kind of an interesting question here, right? Do you try to do something underneath if you get the first down, great, or at least try to move yourself into field goal range?
I think both. I think you're trying to get somebody over the middle. Maybe that, I wouldn't be surprised to see him run that rollout again and hit so whoever's open, or let the quarterback just run it.
So here's O'Malley.
Safe. Another jumped again.
Delay a game, I think, is going to be the call from the secondary there.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't tell, but I got to tell you, that's hurt. X now jumping in the game of hurting yourself.
So we'll see what they do here. Looks like a timeout must be called. Teams are going to their respective sidelines.
Did they actually get the penalty, or did they call the timeout first?
So that's what we're trying to see. It looks like they haven't moved the markers, so I'm guessing they must have got a timeout before the penalty. So it'll be 3rd and 15 when we return from this timeout. So big play here. I mean, huge play, right, for Lakota West?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you need to get some momentum or something.
The strong point of your team is your defense, and they're certainly asking the defense to perform right here and get them out of trouble. I mean, they're in deep trouble, deep in their own ends, their own side of the field, down 10-0. And if X were to score here right before half, it would be tough to come back.
Lakota West hasn't shown that they're likely to put 20 points on the board, right? So,
and again, other than just running Mitch Bolden, I don't see West really doing anything. I mean, there's no imagination to this at all. It's just, hey, we're going to drop back. There's not a running. We don't even put a back in the backfield. We're just going to run him or maybe throw him.
So here we go again. O'Malley back with Patrick in the backfield. 3rd and 15. Snap. Quarterback back, pressure again. He's going to try to run. He's going to get something. We'll see how much he can get. Does a nice job cutting it back. I think he's going to get the first down. Ball comes loose, but he's calling him down.
They're calling him down. But they started at 30.
So that's going to be a first down. Scrambled for about 17 yards.
Wow.
Good pressure, but it came underneath the contain. And, they ran the receivers off on the left side, so no secondary. Very close. Nice blocking downfield by number 9.
And the quarterback, knowing where the first down yard is, just dives past the 20-yard line, gets a first down.
Completes it out in the flat. Maybe it looks like they're going to give him a 2 or 3 on the catch, but he got nice defensive play. So you can see.
But look at St. X come right to the line of scrimmage.
And that's the thing, right?
Right.
Lakota West wasn't square. Everybody wasn't set up. Really nice tackle on the outside.
Unbelievably nice tackle. In open space, because if he gets by him, there's yardage.
Yeah, looking at that again, I think that was a favorable spot for St. X. I'm not sure he got 2 yards on that. So here you go, 2nd and 8 from the 16-yard line. Patrick's going to split out. Going to send 5 wide this time.
Yeah, that was a pretty good spot, wasn't it? It looked like he lost a yard to me.
Looks like they're going to try some kind of screen. Good pressure coming. He throws it in the ground. So nice defense there. They definitely had that play read.
They finally brought an outside guy on the blitz, and that's what they needed to do.
And quarterback just threw it right into the ground about halfway to the receiver, so saw there's nothing there. Looked like you were trying to maybe do a little bit of a screen, but just nothing. Hopped it to Hartford.
Play by the quarterback at X, though. Pressure coming. Didn't want to make a mistake. You're in great situation. You got your indefinite field goal range, so – don't make a mistake. Throw the ball on the ground. Live to fight another day. So you got 3rd and 8. Speck's calling a pretty solid game here, so I'm not sure what they're going to run. They've been doing a good job keeping West off balance.
So Maui's just going to hand it up to Patrick up the middle. They tackled fairly cleanly. Going to gain about 2 or 3 on a 3rd and 8.
Take your field goal and go in the locker room.
I think you take the field goal here as the clock's going to go under 6 minutes before they snap this ball.
So this is going to put a lot of pressure on West to score before the half.
They
should have 3, but they don't. And they're going to give up, on some pretty bad execution. They're going to give up what looks to be another 3 points.
So we'll see what happens here.
Although this guy does not have a tremendous leg that I've seen.
4th and 5, but kicking from the right side. So for a right-footed kicker, a little bit easier sometimes to drive the ball pulling it.
30-yarder. Oh,
good kick.
Plenty of leg.
Actually, I think his best kick of the day, so it's good.
Plenty of leg.
5:36 left in the first half, and St. X 13, Lakota West nothing.
Which is a little bit of a surprise. Again, with 6 minutes to go in the half, if you're Lakota West, you've got to figure out something here. Actually, 5:36 to go. So it's, man, I'm telling you, West has shown no signs of life on offense, have they?
No, not much at all since the one drive where they got 3 or 4 good runs in a row. So now, what kind of challenge does that create when a couple of your skill guys on offense are also starting on defense? Right? Well, there's not a lot of.
It's going to make you tired, although they're not really doing much with them. They're not certainly.
Well, I mean more about when you try to get the offense over on the sideline while the defense is on the field and try to regroup and figure something out. Those guys can't be part of that meeting.
The wide receivers are not having much effect on the game for West. I mean, they're just not. So whether you talk to them or not, they're not going to help you a whole lot. They've got to get that offensive line blocking, and they've got to do something scheme-wise to put, St. X back on its heels. Right now they're not.
So St. X hasn't kicked it very deep, but he's done a pretty good job of positional. So we'll see if he tries a similar thing again. Going to kick the ball, at least nearer to the numbers this time. Lakota West got a good running start on that one. Good return out, but a late flag, which usually does not bode well for the return team.
No, it's usually a hold or a block in the back.
So he returned it out past the 30-yard line. I think they're going to call a hold. So that's going to move the ball back another 10 yards, and they're going to start it closer to the 23. Boy, they just can't get anything together. Had a nice return.
I like to almost see what is West return to triple right here. Are they even prepared for that? Can they run the triple? I don't know. I haven't really seen much of it. But at least it would be something different than what they've been doing, which is just running Mitch Bolden. So
even though the flag was thrown from close to the 40-yard line, they're actually marking the spot of the foul inside the 30, and therefore Lakota West is going to have 1st and 10.
So again, here we go with the shooting themselves in the foot routine.
Looks like from the about the 17-yard line. So here we go. 5:30 to go. Lakota West needs to make something happen here.
Again, no backs.
Bolden's just going to be the running back up the middle. Gains about 2.
I mean,
not
there's
a, not a
no
whole lot there.
Here. I mean, they're dropping back and they're running Bolden.
You know,
I mean, hey, linebacker, go chase number 7.
You know, I presume we're trying to do a little bit of, get the defense looking for one thing and then be able to come back with the other. But, and that works if you can get 5 or 6. When you only get 2, it's kind of like, well, not sure what's accomplished. So here they go, definite passing situation. He's going to have to scramble this time to run the ball. It looks like he has some room. If that's a good block on the corner, and it sure looks like it is, he's going to have some nice success there. Ooh,
got out of bounds,
finished the tackle pretty far downfield, but that's going to be a 1st and 10.
But at least it was kind of out of play. They looked like they were in a pass, and Bolden takes it for.
So, and maybe that's it, right? I mean, not the designed run. You take advantage of Mitch's athleticism. I mean, look at that. He was nothing to the left, and he ran it. But right there, when he put the ball back to that tuck, or to his hand, you could see the defense step back, and then he was able to finish it out there, get out past the 31-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Lakota West. That's the first real positive play they've had in a little while. So see if they can make something happen with that. There comes Giovanni around the left side. Nice cutback. He's got jets. Gains another 12, another first down.
There's something to see, somebody else touching the football. It's good to see.
So what's really nice there to see this is Giovanni Wilson, had a negative play where he caught that kickoff and went out of bounds inside the 10.
Right.
Came right back here, though. Gets another shot at it and goes out there for about 13 yards.
Good yardage. The thing you got to remember here is without the penalty on the kickoff, you're 15 yarders ahead.
So 1st and 10 for Lakota West, 4:27, plenty of time. Have the ball out past their 40-yard line, around the 42. Motion come back across. They're going to run the same play the other side. Another good run.
They got good success.
That's 14. That's Brennan Remy with a nice run. Going to get it over 8 yards, out past the 50.
Little jet sweep actions, moving pretty well. And now your passing game will liven up a little bit as you run the football with some success.
And as you mentioned, that's 3 plays for about 30 yards.
Yep.
But it's Bolden, then Wilson, and now Remy. So 3 different guys getting in some offense.
Yes.
A little bit more
of play action.
Diversity.
Which then again, this will open up the pass a little bit because now they got to watch.
And it's 2nd and 1. Puts you in a great position with a quarterback who can scramble.
And you got a running back in the backfield, so you got something else.
So they're just going to throw to Wilson in the flat. Nice run. Boy, he has good acceleration.
Wow, did you see that? I mean, he went from 0 running sideways to full speed in about 3 steps.
And what's nice is you could see St. X was playing this soft. They were going to let him catch the ball and then tackle him.
But it
didn't happen.
Too quick.
Right here comes
he was almost full speed.
And really, a couple nice blocks downfield there.
Yeah.
I see Remy, and there was somebody else made the block on the outside. So that's what allowed him to get the Jets going. 1st and 10 at the St. X 40-yard line. Here we go again.
So West picking up, with a little bit of difference here.
So he
fake jet sweep and then run ball.
Oh, ball's loose.
Fumbles.
Boy, see if it's
a second fumble.
I think St. X ends up with it. I don't know exactly. Boy, I'm going to need to see that in a replay. It looked at first like he was down. Yeah, and they're going to call him down. Looked like he was down. His hand was on the ball. So even though, the play's dead at that point.
Mitch had a little trouble fumbling the ball his freshman year, but haven't seen much of it since.
It was number 3, the defender, was able to get in there. And actually, I think it was somebody else from Lakota West got on top of it before it might have got ripped out.
But I like the action there. They had 2 successful jet sweeps that worked, and then they faked it. Now, they didn't get a lot out of it, but at least you're making their defense think a little bit.
And I'll give P.J. Rose credit there. He ripped the ball out. I mean, Mitch had it tucked, and he ripped it across his arm. So that was just a nice defensive play there. 2nd and 9 for Lakota West. Back to pass. Got some good protection. Got time. Overthrew Minnick, and it hit the defender. I think Minnick might have got a hand on it.
But look at the underneath guy. Wide open.
Threw the ball.
There is nobody on the underneath guy.
So this is going to be.
Somebody's got to see that and get that to Bolden and say, look for your underneath receiver. He's coming across wide open, nobody in 10 yards.
Huge play here. 3rd and 9, 39-yard line. So you're realistically out of field goal range.
Yeah, I'd run that same play and hit the guy. I mean,
underneath. This may be 4-down situation here. So do you try to run one of these plays? Do you get 5, 6? If you get 10, great.
I think you throw underneath, like I said before. The underneath guy is wide open.
Here comes the jet sweep. Bolden tried to keep it himself, and I think if anything lost a yard. It's going to be 4th and 10.
They're not surprised anybody with Bolden running the football.
his best runs have been on passes, right, where it's a little bit more open field. See what they're going to do here. I guess you have to punt, right, from your own 40?
I think so.
Still 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, you got to punt.
I mean, try to pin them deep and see if you can make something happen. West still has 2 timeouts left, so if you could
maybe get a fumble or something along those lines too. So, yeah, I think you got to punt here. You don't want to go down any farther than 13-0 at halftime.
And you might try to do something silly here to see if you can pull them off, because even if you get a penalty, it doesn't matter.
You got a good athlete. I guess you could fake the punt.
He's going to hold it. Yeah, he's just going to wait, and that's one of the nice advantage. Fair catch. It's going to be caught inside the 10, 8-yard line. So with 1:29 to go in the first half, St. X 13, Lakota West 0, but there was a little bit of life from the offense.
A little bit.
3 or 4 good plays. You have something to work with now, right? I mean, I know the series ended poorly.
I mean, I just think that St. X has Bolden's number. They're expecting him to run the football, and he is. So you got to do something different. You can't just keep doing the same thing that the other team's prepared for and is playing well and it expects you to do. Do something they don't expect you to do.
So here we go. First down at their 9-yard line is going to be the spot. I assume you're going to try to run the ball, right? Run out the half. Back there again, and I assume West will take the timeouts. So he's going to gain about.
Like I said, I'd love to see West come out and run some triple, something that they're not ready for.
So second down, about 8, at the 10-yard line. Actually, it's going to be closer to 9 because they're moving it back to the 10-yard line. You've got 1 timeout remaining. If you're Lakota West, I assume if you're St. X, yeah, right. You have to run the ball again here.
Yeah,
you got to make him use that timeout, right? You can't take the chance on an incompletion.
To give up this 13-0 lead, so they'll be happy with running the clock out, punting, and giving West very little time.
So do you run it twice?
Yes,
because they only have 1 timeout left.
I mean, I would with a 13-0 lead. Your defense playing great. West really not being able to sustain anything on offense. Really very unimaginative from West standpoint. They need to do something different to get St. X on their heels.
Do you think anything from that last series, right? They had some success. They moved the ball, and remember, they started from the penalty on the kickoff, so they had the ball down inside the 40-yard line of St. X.
To score a little bit. They're just not taking advantage of it.
So St. X back out. Here's 2nd and 9, maybe 10, now that when we see the spot.
I would think that Speck's crazy if he throws the ball here. If anything, I could see him maybe drop back and throw a bomb. So if it's intercepted, it's no different than a
very tight formation. 2 backs in the backfield, quarterback under center, O'Malley. Looks like he's going to hand off to the tailback, following the fullback. Gains maybe 2, another timeout, Lakota West. So 3rd down, see whether they end up spotting him. It looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 6. Inside their 15 still. 1:17 to go. Lakota West now out of timeouts. And it may have seemed silly, but when Lakota West took that timeout on their own half-inch line, the delay game would have been meaningless. They couldn't even move the ball. They would have a timeout left here.
I know. Again, I don't understand that call either. When we watched it, I didn't understand it. And now it's really coming up to hurt them. But they need to do something creatively to get the momentum back in their game. I mean, they're not out of it. A 13-point lead is certainly not insurmountable. But it's a 13-point lead when you're not doing anything offensively is insurmountable.
So what do you do here if you're St. X? Do you just run the ball?
If I'm St. X,
try to chew 30 more seconds up before you punt?
My quarterback, where they run like him to the left and then roll the quarterback out and see if he can pick up the first down. You only need 6 yards. So if you get everybody, moving to the left and roll your quarterback on a bootleg to the right, see if you can, get flow to get the guys out of sorts and then try and pick it up. Otherwise, go down, let the cop keep rolling because West can't stop the clock.
O'Malley under center again, 1 back. He's going to do a little bit of a counter. Good penetrate, nice cutback. Ball is loose. I think looks like, we'll see what the signal is. It looks like they're marking it St. X.
Yeah, but really close to a first down.
Wow.
Really, really close. Almost got the first down out of that.
So, yeah, based on the spot, it is a first down.
Now, they're not going to go for it here. I'm sure
No, it's a first down spot. Yeah, so where they ended up spotting the ball, they gave him the first down. So, a fortuitous fumble.
Yeah.
because it moved forward an extra yard and got him the first down. So with a minute to go, St. X, I assume, will just run out the clock here. No reason to do anything else.
Just take a knee. And
still at their 20-yard line.
West can't stop it. And really, West wasn't going to do anything out with no timeouts and really not being able to throw the football. I'll be interested to see the stats, but what's West got? 5-10 yards throwing the football?
Yeah, so here we go. It looks like they're in a penalty on the call. We'll see what that is. With 34 seconds left, I think it was a delay game. So they tried to use 25 seconds. They used 26.
Well, that'll get you 5 backwards.
So pretty much an insignificant play there. They'll need to snap it. Usually the official with 34 seconds will probably only make them snap it one more time.
You know, Brent, the big difference I see in this game so far is St. X is executing, West is not. It's just that simple. X is executing when they have a chance, and when they need something, they execute. And Lakota West, when they need something, make a mistake. You know, they catch the ball, run out of bounds on special teams at the 10-yard line. They get a penalty when they're moving the football finally. You know, they just do everything they can to shoot themselves in the foot, and it's shown on the scoreboard.
So as the clock is down to 10 seconds, it's going to run out here. So at the end of a half of football at Firebird Stadium, it is St. X 13, Lakota West 0. We'll be back.
We'll be back. Okay.
Twice they did it. Oh, gee. No, I'm not down there. I don't know if that's a promotion or a demotion.
Throughout the show, be on the lookout for wolves, bats, and spiders. Please enjoy the 2022 Lakota West Marching Band and their show, Nocturnal Creatures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, how you doing? Good, how are you? Good seeing you. Well, get out of here. Wait. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How much did you get paid now to get an office? Yeah, I heard that. Potato chips. How you doing? Good. Good. Get tight school in the second half. Now this is pretty nice. Is Westchester Television still involved? Signed up for that chatterbox last year. No. I thought, wasn't Redmond looking
Yes, sir. Welcome back to Firebird Stadium here on the campus of Lakota West High School for this first week matchup between Lakota West and St. Xavier. A little bit of a surprise for the Lakota West fans as St. X is leading 13-0. If we look at the stats, it's somewhat what you would expect from this score. In the first half, Lakota West had a total of 63 yards on 22 plays. So much of a struggle as the offense. And from the other perspective, St. X has run 28 plays for 199 yards. The big difference has been on the passing. St. X, Jack O'Malley, has thrown for 141 yards, whereas Mitch Bolden 2 for 8 with an interception and only 15 passing yards. So we're expecting that Lakota West is going to have to do something different. And really, the most fortunate part for them is that as poorly as they've played, they're only down 13 points at halftime, and they get the ball to come out. I'm Brent Phelan along with Dan Zeverink, and we'll be calling the second half for you. Lakota West is going to start out left to right on your television screen. And we're going to see here that St. X sets up to kick. It's Singa as the kicker for St. X. He's kicked 2 field goals so far today. So Dan, what does Lakota West need to do different, and what does St. X need to do to bring home the victory?
One thing I hope Lakota West does is come out of the locker room a little more fired up than they were in the first half. They seemed to be really, really down. They were flat. They weren't executing. They didn't see. I don't know if they're reading their own headlines and they think they're supposed to be good and they're just going to walk out and everybody's going to fall down. But St. X executed, West did not. And there was absolutely no emotion in Lakota West, which surprises me a little bit with this game.
So Lakota West is catch good return coming up the field. Is going to make it outside the 30-yard line, 32-yard line, and has a little bit of a positive. No laundry on the field on that play. So Lakota West actually will start outside or right at the 30-yard line.
Well, good
first
field
and
position,
10.
And they got the ball. So good. I mean, all positive things for West. You start out with the ball, and now, hopefully they come out here with a little bit of emotion. If they can come down here and score, new ball game, right? I mean, it's a 6-point game, and you're right in there.
So interesting formation here, or we'll see how they roll into it. But the skill guys kind of huddled up separate, but we're going to have 5 wide, right? 3 and 2. And Bolden by himself back in the backfield. So see what happens here starting the second half.
5 wide receivers.
Bolden back. He's going to run. And, nice defensive play. He's going to pull him down for a small gain.
Well, that didn't change so far.
But at least that way they had the field spread. That was really a nice tackle. It looked like that play was likely to go for 4 or 5 yards. Right. You can see this. If they just keep that guy to the outside, then he was one small guy that he was going to have to take on, or it's a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Right. No, I understand, but you got to quit running Mitch Bolden as your only offense. You're not going to get very far, and they haven't.
So same formation again, 3 to the right, 2 up top. Bolden back to pass. Looks like he's got Minnick open, but the ball tipped before it got to him, I believe.
Brent, I got to tell you, now I know that was where they had 2 receivers in the same spot. That can't be the design of that play.
Yeah, a little too close.
Look at the replay on this. There's no one underneath. If you look 10 yards behind the linebackers, you're not going to see a white jersey.
Well, you also see that.
Look at that. There's no one there. That was an official that you saw go by. There's not a person underneath.
The other thing they did there is 2 receivers went deep. Hartford stopped and there was nobody around him. So I like your chances if you could have got Malik
I don't know
Hart
why
for the
they're not
ball
just throwing the ball underneath and letting them run, turn them loose.
with a chance to do it.
There's
So
nobody covering the field underneath.
3rd and 8, Bolden back. It looks like it's a screen. Nice play. That's going to be a first down and more. Nice design there, right? 3rd and 8. You know they've been having no success running the ball. They turn those defensive linemen loose, and good composure from Mitch.
They got underneath, which is solid. There's nobody there. That's why I picked up the first down. There's no defenders back. Once you get past that front 7, there's nobody there.
So a nice offense.
He gets all kinds of yardage. They need to do that more. They need to get the football to either their tight end or the slot back underneath.
So they're
It
out
is wide open.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Here goes Bolden, going to run the ball again. Now, again, he's going to get 5, but after you just had a successful pass play, right? So that's what they couldn't do. They couldn't get in any kind of offensive rhythm. They couldn't get in anything that put St.
And when they
they couldn't get
St.
a
penalty, and made
a penalty and that interception. They
Right.
couldn't keep St. X off balance. And while St. X may not have the all stars that were, you see some years, they play disciplined. They're in position.
Right.
You're going to have to beat them. They're not likely to beat themselves.
They're not going to.
But here we go,
Well
2nd and
covered.
6 from midfield. Bolden back does have running back with him. He's going to roll out to the right. Nice
There it
play.
is,
Nice
underneath.
design,
Oh.
but Fussell could
dropped
not
it.
hold on to the ball. And that really nice composure again from
Everything.
Bolden, right?
And they threw the ball underneath where I think the plays are. Would have been a yard, 15, 20 yards, but he dropped the football.
And we're going to see it here. But the one thing I have noticed so far in this half, 2 passes with very nice composure by Bolden, right? He could have run, but he waited till the receiver came open, and
Hit him in a bad place, right in the hand.
just couldn't pull it down. So big play here, 3rd and 6 from midfield. But the one thing I do like, it looks like Bolden, the game maybe has slowed down again for him. I don't know if he was a little amped up starting out, but here he is back. Now this might be one he's going to run. No, he's going to, great idea. He didn't see the safety coming back across, right? It was just safety had too much time. That may have been one he wanted to run. Let's take a look here. He only needed 6 for the first down. He got outside. The end was past there. He had room. No, there was 2 guys coming up.
2 guys coming up. That would have been tough. Safety came over and made a great play on that. So nice job by a well-coached football team.
Yep. But
So, it's at least a spark of life.
the good news is, right, they're kicking from midfield, so they have a chance here to pin St. X a little bit back. And absent a couple big plays, St. X hasn't demonstrated that they can run, move the ball 80 yards.
Not with consistency.
Yeah,
They've
so
had
we'll see
2
here.
real big plays.
Minnick is going to they're going to call a hold anyway. He's going to get the first down, and he's going to call a hold. So, and more.
He made it a touchdown.
Minnick is going to carry it in the to the
Coming back, though, with a hold right there.
So now they're going to be punting from their own 35-yard line.
Right.
So
the coaches are not excited because they know there's a penalty.
The snap bounced to Minnick. Minnick picked it up, but because the timing was so off, his decided to roll out, and when he got around one defender, he was able to have a huge gain. But there was a hold called right, and it was right at the guy he was getting around.
Right.
So whether he held or not, replay would show, but that block or hold made the play.
More than likely. You see Bolden a little dejected right there with his head down. Things not going his way tonight.
No, that's a tough one. So actually they're going to mark the ball around the 31-yard line. So now we talked about the fact that they're going to punting it from midfield.
Way back.
Now they're going to be back where they started the ball on the series. So
that's 10 yards from the point of the foul.
The success is there. The success they had getting the ball out to midfield, taken away on that deep penalty.
Oh, that was not a very good punt. That was a short snap.
So here we go. We've got the other punter in this time. Let's see if we can get something happen here. They've been having Minnick punt, who's more the athletic punter, and it's going to be fair caught at the 33-yard line.
So St. X pretty good starting position because of the penalty.
Wow, boy, and
the touchdown call.
And there's the tough thing, right? Your athlete Minnick makes an athletic play that could have turned the game for you, and unfortunately the penalty results in actually St. X gets pretty good field position. I mean, at a minimum, punting from the 50, you're expecting that you're going to pin them deep. Minnick had been pretty effective punting it today. You would have expected them to be inside their 20. Now they're starting out all the way out at the 34-yard line.
These penalties are just killing them. I mean, I would not want to be in the film room tomorrow with Lakota West because they're going to point out a bunch of kids that really hurt the game tonight.
So 1st and 10, St. X from their own 34-yard line. So see if the defense comes out. Offense came out with a little spark for Lakota West. Let's see if the defense can do likewise here. You know,
Maybe
the
we'll get a
defense
pick
is who we
six.
expect. Great.
Oh, there it was.
Wow, big hit. Ball is loose. Now he's calling him down. So you can see, and that's the shame. The referee called nothing, and then he waited. It didn't matter. I think St. X recovered.
Great adjustment at halftime. That guy's been rolling out untouched, and that guy did nothing. He didn't look at anything. Went right for the quarterback.
Unfortunately, it looks like Elijah Davis, number 90, was injured himself on the play. Darn it. So it looks
that
like
was a great play by the defensive
lower
end.
leg. He's sitting on the sideline there. Hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully it's a cramp from the look of what they're doing to him.
Yeah,
so hopefully that's it. Nice big play, though.
Yeah,
Loss of 8 yards, 2nd and 18.
Almost with a turnover.
See if the defense off to a good start. You can see him coming in. They saw the screen. See if he can make the tackle. Nice hit.
Big hit.
Woo! This is definitely what we're. Oh, another injury though for Lakota West. Darn it! One of the rushers who just came in looks like he's banged up as well. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah, he's
on the field going down now. The good news is number 90, Elijah Davis, Eli, who came out the last play, did run back onto it. Was running back. Well,
okay, good.
He was trying to run back on the field. We have another injured Lakota West player who fell down before he got off the field. So net effect is 2 really good defensive plays from Lakota West. 3rd and 18 for St. X. Boy, you got to get off the field here, right?
It looks like the D coordinator got in their ear. The defense is coming out, and they came back the second half to play.
Boy, you got to get off the field. If you're Lakota West, you had a little spark on offense. You ended with a whimper. But if you can get this ball back here in a little bit better position, it would be a pretty big play. So here we go. Only rushing 4. Not a whole lot of pressure. It was nice play by Fussell. If you saw that, he almost rushed. He saw he had the tight end. The quarterback was still behind the line of scrimmage. He was smart enough to stay with that guy until the quarterback got to the line of scrimmage. And then he closed out.
So good yardage by the quarterback, but they're going to punt. All that does is make the punt a little closer.
Yep. Here, you're going to see it here, and you'll see it looked like right here they're going to come up and get him, and he waited till the quarterback was past the line of scrimmage. Very nice play. 4th down for St. X, and hey, 3 pretty good defensive plays from Lakota West defense. So they obviously came out ready to go. Offense started out with a little bit of passion.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I think Bolden got a little bit of snap back. Step back in the snap.
Maybe special teams can have a little bit of success here. They almost did on the punt.
Yeah.
Till the penalty brought it back. So let's see what happens here. Well, it's either a delay a game, which it is, or they're going to reset. So, big picture, right? Who cares? 4th and 15 versus 4th and 10, except field position, right? When you've been struggling like Lakota West has been, now you're going to be standing nearer to your 30-yard line, catching the ball, hopefully on the run. So
every little bit helps.
You got a chance to get this ball back, and outside your 35-yard line. I think that would be a great start for Lakota. Oh, block! Kick is blocked. To see if they can pick it up. Doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter. It's their ball there, no matter who gets
Special teams.
Special teams comes through the big play.
That's huge. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Lakota West inside the 15-yard line of St. X.
That was huge, and they needed that.
And I don't want to make a lot out of a little. They still have 0 points. Offense, 1st downs. Defense, 3 and out, and actually, ended up punting for more than 10. And special teams now, we got the blocked punt, so that was huge.
I agree. I agree. So they're back in the game here if they can get the football in the end zone. It's first and 10.
13-yard line to see what they're doing with their. Looks like a little personnel question here. Two receivers to the top. Going to do a little bit of that counter again. No success.
Wow, he stayed up.
Nice athletic play by Mitch Bolden, right? I mean, I'd like to say he got hit, but he delivered a blow too. The guy that hit him is going backwards. Mitch took something that would have been no gain and gained 2.5 out of it.
Some athleticism here because he gets hit right there and was able to maintain balance, turns it upfield and picks up some extra yardage.
And it's also, a good indication on some good blocking that when he got knocked backwards and sideways, there was nobody there to make the easy tackle on him. He was able to get squared back up and end up with a 2-yard gain. So, and when you're inside the 13, 2 yards can be really important
I will
because it
tell
gives you
that
options, right?
Quarterback draw is not effective right now.
Sec-
They're going to have to start giving the ball to the running back, so they have to defend the running back. They haven't had to defend him at all.
Looks like a little different. There was a true option look, right?
Yeah.
Now
He didn't look to pitch at all.
Yeah, he ran the ball, but he had a pitch man. So unlike what we've been seeing, a little bit more of old school Coleraine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they actually got out on the pitch guy.
So
I think they're just selling out to Bolden.
So here we go, though. He got it inside the 10-yard line, 3rd and a long 5. And you know what that did is getting 2 on the first down makes this options, right? He can
I'd
roll
like to
out.
see some play action here where he rolls out, gets outside, and can either pass or run.
He can get him on the edge. You've got Malik Hartford and Ben Minnick on the top of the screen, right? 2 Division I. Ohio State, Notre Dame commits, obviously real players, got to be defended. Here he's going to throw back the other way, just out of the hands of Remy.
Well, they're not catching very well. They are.
Oh, I don't know if he's injured. He
landed on his shoulder.
Looked like he just didn't get quite much separation, and the ball was tried to drop it right in there. So what do you do here, Dan? We
got to get some points.
And Remy's obviously down injured. Hopefully it's nothing serious. He's hopefully it's a cramp again or something. When they're right, it looks like
you got to get some points, and it looks like he just overthrew this a little bit. He had him in the backside.
Yeah, let's just see. So here's the ball. He tried to put a little touch, get it over him. I can't tell if the defender got a hand on it.
Defended anyway.
But it was just he just didn't have enough separation from the defender. That would have been a perfect pass catch, right, to drop that ball in there. So hopefully, again, it's just a cramp. It looks like maybe a Charlie horse kind of thing.
Well,
from Brennan Remy.
Tonight early, sweating, cramps, hurt curry. You got to get some. And, it doesn't matter if he drinks now or not. It's not going to help.
So hopefully it looked like that might have been what Davis on defense had too. So going to go out here and kick this. See if you can't at least get on the board. And
I think they need to get on the board and kind of break that goose egg.
The way the game's going, I think you're right. Points are important because you can't let St. X score. So if you can start having successful offensive series ending in points.
Yeah, and how big's that field goal they didn't get after throwing the interception
So Tyler Bond back to kick. Kicks it through, and I've heard rumor that Tyler's hit him from as far 50 yards in practice. So
and that's why you get
could
the
be a
points
weapon
here, because if you get a touchdown, you're a 50-yard field goal from tying it.
And how many times has Lakota West had the ball past midfield where you start getting in a position where you could actually get that field goal? So that was huge, right?
Yeah. I think just getting some points on the board, it makes you feel good. Everybody's kind of excited now because you got points. You're rewarded for your hard work. You get something out of the block punt, right?
You got to score off that, right? You get that. That's like a turnover.
You have to.
You have to get the points on that. So let's think about this, right? So we've had the offense came out, got a first down. Special teams actually had a great play. Unfortunately, it got called back.
Right.
Defense came out, had a great series. Special teams blocked the punt. Special teams made the field goal. Offense moved the ball, just a few feet. Didn't quite get what they would have liked out of it, but.
Brent, I'm not sure what was wrong with the jet sweep there. Anything but Mitch Bolden's quarterback draw. It's obvious they're running it. They don't even have another back in the backfield, and it's just too predictable. Everybody on the St. X team is going after Bolden. Maybe they'll come up with something and get a big play out of it, but right now they got to do something besides running Mitch Bolden.
So here we go. Tyler Bond to kick. He's been a weapon for him. Usually kicks the ball pretty deep, so let's see what happens. He's going to kick it a little short of the end zone, high to about the 2. Bringing it straight up the middle. Nice return from St. X. Late flag again, which, again, normally is not good for the return team.
Usually a hold or a block in the back.
So a hold. Ball was only returned to the 27-yard line, so they're going to start inside their own 20.
Yeah, personal foul, too. On that hold.
So great news for Lakota West, right? They're going to make them start.
Everything kind of rolling their way this half.
Yeah, they're going to make them start inside the 20.
Other than the penalties, really no mistakes.
So if defense come out again and 3 and out, and right, and here's the thing with this defense Lakota West has, they have the ability to do 3 and out.
Right.
If they do a 3 and out, they punt. You're only a first down or 2 from field goal range.
Right.
To be right back on and putting pressure right back on
with
the
a lot
St.
of
X.
football left.
And let's be honest, Lakota West has had some open receivers. They haven't been able to hang on to the ball.
They have not.
You'd think maybe one of those, but here we are under center, handoff up the middle, and there's just not much there. Looks like they may give him 2 on the play.
Looks like West has done a good job making adjustments to what St. X was doing, which was just kind of run the ball off tackle and then run some play action off of that. West just kind of shut that down. The play action, you saw what happened to the quarterback on the roll. They tried a little boot action. He got hit for an 8-yard loss. And right there, they're making it a little tough up the middle too. So good stuff by the Lakota West coaching staff, stopping what X was doing.
So here we go, second down and about 8. See what they do here. St. X again under center, which they didn't do very often. Interesting. Officials got the penalty in. He had a flag in his hand because initially they weren't set up right. They actually shifted into it. Good hits from Lakota West. That's going to be another gain of 2 or 3.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm looking for a big play for one of these offenses because did you see Lakota West? They had 11 guys within 8 yards of the ball.
So is St. X getting too conservative here, too early?
I think so. They're playing not to lose. They're not throwing the ball either.
I mean, are they think they can rely on Lakota West to continue to make mistakes? Big play here, 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. I mean, this is crucial for both teams, right? If St. X can get a first down, you feel, okay, we're settled back in. If Lakota West can stop them, it's like, here comes the offense again. Got some good pressure. Going to see how they fill. That's what Lakota West does. Wow.
Wow, what a great play.
So people, there's a lot of people out there who said, what kind of defender has Ben Minnick? Is he really able to play at a Notre Dame or Ohio State or Oklahoma?
Look at the closing speed.
You tell me this play.
Look at the closing speed on this. I mean, look how far he is away, and he stops him for 1 yard.
I mean, and that's my thing, right? I mean,
and who was that?
That's Ben Minnick.
Okay.
I mean, I'm telling you what, that's a guy that can play anywhere, right?
That's a kid going to Notre Dame.
If you can make that play,
yes,
you can make plays.
That is speed right there.
So again, as we were talking about, they actually got him for a little bit of a loss. 4th and 6, which means the punt. Lakota West is Brennan Remy, who is back out. Great, must have been a cramp, standing at his own 40-yard line. They have a chance to get great field position once again.
X getting a little conservative, it seems.
Short punt and high. A little bit of a fortunate bounce for St. X, but it's still going to be Lakota West ball throwing 44-yard line.
That was a nice kick. A lot of hang time. Got the ball down the field good.
Looks like
after a punt.
Another cramp on Lakota West, if you see behind the play there.
Yeah, they have shown some cramps here. Keeping the training staff busy. But water right now won't help.
You know what was interesting is earlier today it was fairly pleasant. It got hotter as the day went on later in the afternoon. I noticed it was, and I was a little further north today in Ohio, but it was low 80s.
Yeah.
Before I came here tonight around 5:30, it was up to 91.
Well, it was hot. I mean, being in this booth with the sunshine in here is hot. I imagine out there on that field it's real hot.
So the marking is actually at the 45-yard line. Lakota West 1st and 10 from their own 45.
3:45 to go in this. Yeah, that's big. I mean, if West can get down here and score with the entire 4th quarter left and only needing 3 points the way that defense is playing, you got to like their chances.
Well, and able to run off the field with the cramp. And I don't want to make light of that, but obviously it was pretty obvious pretty early that it was a cramp and nothing terribly serious.
Get that thing stretched out. Get some water in him and hope he gets better.
So here we go, Lakota West. See that jet sweep you just talked about, Dan? They're going to try it again. Wilson he is quick in space. It's a gain of 9.5. So it's going to be 2nd and very, very short, which gives you a lot of flexibility, right? You're already in Lakota or in St. X territory.
Yeah, Giovanni Wilson has been effective on this.
He has, he 4 or 5 of these. I mean, that's that quick little burst.
But if you notice at the end of that play, did you see the St. X guys looking at Bolden? There were 3 guys going to tackle him. Even though he handed the ball off, there were 3 X players positioning themselves to tackle him.
So the spot was for the first down, 1st and 10 from the X 45-yard line. Bolden fakes the pass, and he runs the ball. He's going to gain about 4. And again, that play, here's a 4-yard gain. It can work after you just had a successful play.
Right, of something other than him running.
It's hard to do that when you're second, when you haven't had something to play before.
And that play, you're making it too easy for the defense by running the same play over and over and over. It's just too easy to defend.
Here we go again. So 2nd and 6. But the nice thing is when you start at your 45, really you need 25 yards and you're potentially in field goal range. And that's what they need. They just need to keep getting points.
Absolutely.
Here we go. There you see Wilson, and Wilson's open. They didn't see him.
Oh my goodness!
Looked like he wasn't sure which way to turn downfield, right?
It got behind. It threw it behind him a little bit. He turned the wrong way and fell down and was wide open.
I think the ball hits him. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bolden hits him with the ball. But there you go. He comes in, goes out, and he just runs straight downfield. and he just
Turned the wrong way.
couldn't get squared around to where the ball
If he
was.
just stops and turns back to the quarterback, hits him right in the chest,
Yeah, if he.
then he could back into the end zone.
So 3rd and 6. Boy,
So
that close.
Another missed opportunity.
That
for
close.
West.
And and I'm not blaming necessarily Wilson, right? I mean, by the time the ball got there, it was a tough play. I don't know if he was a little unclear which way to be moving. Well, now this is big, right? When you take a timeout down 10 points with 2:26 to go in the third quarter, 3rd and 6, you need to convert this, right?
I
That
think
timeout
Bolton's
has
starting
to.
to feel the clock. I mean, the clock's turned into St. X's friend.
That timeout though has to be worth points, right? You need to figure out a way to convert this.
You've got to figure out the way to get 10. Bolton knows it's important. He's called timeout. He's out there talking to him.
You feel pretty good about your defense. You feel better about your offense, right? You have a first down.
And I'm wondering if you're Tom Bolton, is it 2-down territory? Do you try and do something here to get close and then go for it because your defense is playing so well?
And I agree, Dan, if you get close. But
Here's what I'm talking about. Underneath is so stinking wide open. This would be the perfect time for that underneath pass. I mean, it's perfect. And if you don't get it, you're close enough where you could go for it.
And they used the screen pass once already in a similar situation, right? So successfully. So we'll see what they do here. But
yeah, I would like to see West bring that slot receiver underneath or the tight end underneath and get something here.
So 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom.
They're bringing.
Yeah, everybody up to the line of scrimmage. See what they do. Quick throw to Hartford. Could not hold on to it. A little bit low. Would have been a first down if he held it. I think he was.
Cannot catch a football tonight, can
I think he was concerned about coming back short of the first down, and didn't get all the way underneath the ball.
And now you got to punt.
I think you punt because your defense has had 2 3 and outs. You try to get them back inside their 10, and hopefully you can 3 and out them and get the ball back at midfield.
Yeah, they had the right play. If he catches that, it's a first down. But he didn't, and even if he didn't catch it, they're I think close enough to where Bolden.
They would have, yeah, certainly, as you were saying.
I think he would have gone for it.
You wish the ball would have been a little higher. You wish he would have gone under it, like you said. I'd rather been 4th and 1 and a catch than an incompletion.
Boy, how about jet sweep there with all those kids inside when they look like they were.
Looks like a really nice kick. Stay at right out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be at the 15.
15. Yes. Dead on the 15-yard line.
So here we go. It'll be 1st and 10. St. X still leading 13-3. Although the momentum feels like it's changed, right? It looks like St. X is. It looks like the St. X is holding back the water. So, Dan, here we go again. 2:14 to go third quarter. You need another 3 and out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a turnover would be wonderful, but you need a 3 and out.
Yeah, or a turnover. Pick 6 would be good.
So here we go. O'Malley's in shotgun. It looks like Asbeck stepped back. A little bit of confusion from St. X.
And I think St. X is going to throw the football here as they don't have anybody in the backfield.
Yeah, they look
look
real
like they're going to try and come out of that conservative stuff themselves as they bring somebody in the backfield.
They move him in there. So it looks like, so I'll give some credit to the defense there of Lakota West, the coordinator. They had Asbeck on the right side. He would come up to the line of scrimmage. O'Malley was trying to run one thing. Then when he changed it, he stepped back, changed the formation, and came back up. That's when he brought the running back in. And so really I think Lakota West defensive coordinator fooled him into a 2.5-yard gain. So here we go again. Second.
It looks like they're going to throw. They're in a formation to throw the football with trips to the right and a single split receiver back to the left-hand side, but nobody in the backfield.
And O'Malley's had a little bit of success rolling out and run the ball, but
boy, it didn't look like that.
So here you go, same thing again. Move Gage back into the backfield. He's going to run the ball. Pretty good defense again. Wow. You know, right up the middle, we had 44 for Lakota West, who just absolutely stuffed the play. That's Micah Markley. And when the guy thought, I could slide out, Fussell was right there, number 2, and there was nowhere to go.
No.
Here we go again. So you're going to see it here.
The face mask. Look
right? You're going to watch from the inside linebacker, 44. He's going to come right through. He's going to be a good read. He's going to fill underneath the tackle.
There, it felt like
and then Fussell finishes it, and then the host of the guys, Asbeck and others. So here we go, 3rd and 5. Huge play again, right? It feels like Lakota West is right. They just keep pushing. See if the defense can make something happen here. O'Malley back to pass. 2 receivers deep. Same guy again.
And same
another
result.
catch.
He caught it.
Another catch. Nice catch again. 82. That's his 3rd nice deep catch for them.
They cannot stop 82.
And that's just a nice throw, right? Really only Jamal Sharp back there. I mean, quarterback took a licking.
But he got the job done. He throws it as far as he can, and Sharp runs underneath it, makes a great play.
So 1st and 10 from Lakota West 40. Nothing there. You can see Lakota West had that held. Looks like another cramp from Lakota West. Darn it. That's why he didn't think the play would have gone for less than the 2 yards it got. 32 seconds to go here in the.
Man, I'll tell you, 3 big plays from St. X has helped them out tremendously on 3rd down. It's all on 3rd down, and they're doing a tremendous job, and they're finding 82. I mean, 82's killing them. And it's hard to create a double, just go, hey, let's double team 82, because then you got to shift your defense into man-to-man and all kinds of stuff.
What they're doing is a nice job of throwing the ball away from the defender and letting him run underneath
the ball.
Right. They're throwing it where there's not a second defender to that side. So every time
safety over the top.
Every time he can make a play on the ball, the defense would have to go through him to make a play on the ball.
And West defense was up. They were looking for a potential run, weren't looking for a deep ball, and they ran behind the safeties.
So a little confused here. They ran the clock after the injury down to 23. The play clock is up, so in theory they don't have to run another play here in the quarter.
I don't believe that X is going to do anything crazy here to let the quarter end, I believe.
Yeah, right. They're up 10. So, hey, don't take.
You're going to want as few Lakota West offensive snaps as you can give them. And you don't want to do anything dumb here and give up pick 6. I mean, that would change the game.
So it looks like just another, and that is Benny Powell. So looks like cramps. We're seeing a lot of that on the Lakota West side so far.
Yeah, I don't think squirting water on a cramp's going to help it. I'm not a trainer.
So it's 2nd and 8. Ball is inside the Lakota West 40-yard line. And it would appear that the clock should run, so that should be the end of the quarter. We'll see what happens here. And and he winds the clock. Now, so it's St. X's choice if they want to run a play or not.
Looks like they may elect to run a play.
I would be a little surprised if they do, but they might. There's 11 seconds on the clock, still running. 5. Again, I think they're just hoping to get a free 5 yards out of it.
And they don't, and the clock runs out. Yeah, as you were saying, Brent, been kind of crazy there. Did someone call a time now?
No,
I think. Why is there 2 seconds on the clock?
So what happened was the official blew the whistle and signaling the end of the quarter, and I think the timer went ahead and stopped the clock at the time he blew the whistle. So after 3 quarters here from Firebird Stadium, a little bit of life for the Firebirds. St. X 13, Lakota West 3. We'll be back. Back here at Firebird Stadium for this Week 1 matchup, Lakota West, St. Xavier Bombers. After 3, Dan, a little bit of life for Lakota West in the 3rd quarter, but they only got 3 points out of it.
A little bit of spark, a little bit more than they had in the first half. But they're going to have to throw the football here, Brett. There's 1 quarter of football left, 12 minutes, and they've been unable to throw the ball. When they've had some open receivers, they've dropped the football. So they're going to have to be able to throw. I don't think West has 10 yards of total offense, do they, as far as throwing the ball?
Yeah, they had 15 yards in the first half passing.
Okay, that surprised me a little bit.
But as you mentioned, though, I mean the challenge is they've had some open receivers. They've thrown the ball to where some open receivers were, and for whatever reason, they couldn't get a completion. Whether it was the pattern was a little off, the throw was a little off. You'd like to think you could make some of those plays. So here we go, 2nd and 8 for St. X. Starting the quarter. They're going to run the ball just straight up the middle. Oh, nice run for St. X. That's probably their best run of the game.
Yeah, West had shut down that middle play, and that was a little delay, and it sure worked. Gave that offensive line up front to create a hole, and he certainly found it for some good yardage.
Here we go again, that tempo right back to the line of scrimmage. Throw the ball out wide. Another, I tell you, one thing Lakota West can do is they can fly to the ball. That was Malik Hartford. That looked like he might get something out of it. Yeah, he comes underneath it and tackles it for a 2-yard gain. The safeties can fly for Lakota West. Look at this. Comes right through it.
Right through it and boom. Makes a great play. And a sure tackler. That's Division I football right there, boys and girls.
Looks like they're going to give him 3 on the play. So at the 20-yard line, Lakota West, it's going to be 2nd and 7 for St. X.
But, yeah, they closed that down pretty quickly.
You know, it gets interesting, probably in field goal range. So see what happens here in 2nd down. O'Malley under center.
Defensive play here.
2 backs. Haven't seen this too often. It's a true lead. And, nice cutback by the running back. There was just nothing there.
But
he's going to end up getting 4.5.
Chance to make a big play. I don't think he's going to. I think you're right. I think he's looking field goal here.
Well, now you're 3rd and 2, and they're going to go right to the line of scrimmage, see if they can beat Lakota West off the snap. Here we go. Lakota West looks like they're lined up. O'Malley's just going to hand it straight up the middle. Nice defensive play. Nice job by the running back, though. We'll see where they spot him. I think they're going to spot him short.
Yeah,
he tried to jump over the top, but the spot is going to be back at the 15-yard line. It's going to be 4th and inches.
I think they kick it. The only thing, doing the math here for West, the only thing that's good about this for West is you're still 2 touchdowns from winning the game.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. It's 4th and less than a yard. Nice play again by Hartford in the backfield. Nice job by their running back.
Lucky they don't have replay because I think he got the first down.
So what's going to be interesting here, right? 4th and 1. I think if you're St. X, you're thinking, Lakota West hasn't done much offense. If we do this, we have a chance to score a touchdown, and we have a chance to run a couple more minutes off the clock. If they can get a first down here.
If you run quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak? Boy, I think he's got it. Yeah, it looks definitely like he does. He didn't get much, but he needed very little. Wow, this is going to be close. Look where the spot is, Dan. It's barely over the line.
Wow.
He had to get over the line. He didn't have to get to the 14. This is close, right? He had to get to the 14 and a half. Did he?
It does not look like he got it at that red line. No, that's the soccer line. I'm thinking pro football here where they're giving the first down.
This is going to be a wow.
I don't think Westchester TV has the ability to put the yellow first down line on the field.
So this is where Lakota West is hoping they stretch that thing a couple extra chain links, right?
Yeah. Jim All out there on there. Jim All.
It is short.
It is short.
Dan, you talked about if they had the replay. I don't think this is a great spot for St. X.
No.
I think I would have given him at least 2 more train links, I think, on the run. But
I think he got the first down on that dive on the previous play. They
So
didn't touch him. He wasn't down until he hit on about the 14 or 13-yard line.
So here's what's huge, right? They don't score, 10 points. Lakota West has the ball. Now it's back at their 15, and I'm sure that's what St. X was thinking. If we don't get it,
touchdowns away from the win.
Lakota West has struggled to have 85 yards of total offense, let alone take 85 yards to go down and score.
Put 2 touchdowns on the board, and the way West has played offensively tonight, that's going to be a tall order.
Back to pass. See if he. Oh, it looks like he's got some receivers open. Going to throw down the sideline. Really nice defense. Pretty good throw.
That kid stayed right on him.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. That was a pretty good pass from.
That was great technique
from Bolden, but he was right there.
Stayed right on him.
Kobe Taylor, number 17, was open on the sideline. Good close from St. X. He ran through it. He didn't make any stupid plays. Didn't grab. He just ran right with him and just didn't quite reel it in.
Now, X made a little bit of a judgment there that they had some guys underneath covering. Maybe the defensive coaches saw that and made some adjustments.
So they spread the.
Yeah, they had some coverage underneath that time.
Here we go again. Fake the jet sweep. Try to run, and just nothing. The challenge is they're giving them the jet sweep. I think every jet sweep's gone for at least 5 yards.
It's more than 5.
They're just taking away Bolden on that.
They're
fake
just
the sweep.
Bolden out of the offense, and they're beating the dog crap out of them. They're showing every team in the league how to play West. Take Bolden out, and you got them beat. They're not going to do anything.
And here's the thing, right? I mean, if they catch a few of those balls, this strategy was terrible.
Right.
But they haven't been able to make it happen yet. Now, the good news for Lakota West, still just 10 minutes to go. The way this is going, it only takes a couple. Right? They've had a couple open receivers that would have gone for a touchdown. Bolden back to pass. He's going to throw the ball nicely across the middle. Nice gain to Wilson. I think we may see offensive interference. No, defensive hold. So first down, defensive holding. You see the call here? First down, almost out of the 45. Giovanni Wilson, nice. Bolden has had a couple nice throws that haven't been. I mean, that's a good ball.
And Will's finally, one of the receivers holds on, and they pick you up good yardage, as you say, on a tough third down play.
Yeah, that's huge, right? I mean, now they're all the way out to the 44-yard
That
line.
gives a little bit of confidence to the offense. They make a big play, keep the drive alive. 9:37 left to go in the game, so get down here and score. Give your defense a chance to stop them, and then come down here and score again. You win the football game.
Well, and it makes the defensive line say, oh, they maybe can complete a pass. So now they can't just sit back there on Bolden.
But they kind of went underneath, which was good. That's been there.
Here we go, Bolden to throw it again. Now, there, exactly what you just said. Throws the ball to Remy, gain of about 8 or 9. You see that? I mean, he gave him a 10-yard cushion.
Absolutely.
So he ran out there, stopped. And that's the one thing. Lakota West hasn't thrown those shorter passes.
So why not throw the shorter passes? They're running those defenders off. Underneath is open every single time.
Well, an 8-yard gain perhaps makes the defense a little nervous of the underneath pass, and it stops the clock. It's on the sideline, so you're still 9:21.
And you know what? St. X is in. Don't let anybody get behind you mode, right? I mean, so why not throw underneath now? Get out of bounds, stop the clock, and drive the football.
And we all know you do that 2 or 3 times. There we go, a little bit more room for Mitch Bolden after 2 successful passes.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I mean, we're not saying that Mitch Bolden isn't a dynamic runner. It's just when the defense knows he's running,
well, they're making
it's pretty tough.
That's all he's doing, and that's all they're doing offensively, so it's easy to stop.
Pretty good blocking there. He's going to take the ball.
Like you said, you get a couple pass completions, man, does it loosen up that defense?
Just think about that. When they had 2 successful jet sweeps, he had a nice run. When they've had, when they have some success elsewhere, he has some success. But even look at here. Look at the cushion they're playing. So 1st and 10, Lakota West, 42-yard line to St. X. Somebody moved. Looks like false start.
Man. Ugly.
So here we go. 1st and 15. 8:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Still trailing by 10 points.
And again, something you won't want to do when you're moving the football.
Now what's
got some momentum going your way, and you stab yourself in the foot, and momentum, the air goes right out of you.
So see what they can accomplish here. They need to score here, right? Even a field goal. They got to get within a score.
Get something.
Defense has been pretty solid. One big play is all St. X has had this half. Looks like they're going to try to fake it. Oh, nice fake. Nice catch by Remy. He's gone.
He's gone. Touchdown.
Brennan Remy. What a nice play. And if you saw what happened.
That was a hell of a play by Bolden.
Minnick went back.
Yes.
Minnick went back. So here's the red out, right? You get the light show. This is new. The light show. You see it at Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. Now you got it here.
Wow, West getting big time.
I think Lakota West was a little bit disappointed. They had the new lights with that available and hadn't been able to use it. They're 3.5 quarters into the game.
They do on that play. And that was an incredible play by Mitch Bolden to kind of hold on and extend that play. That was a Ben Roethlisberger type play.
The other thing, Dan, we've been talking about the receivers haven't been able to pull down catches. Not saying it's always their fault, maybe where the ball is. Brennan Remy made a nice catch. This ball was above his head.
Yeah,
he makes the catch.
Up.
I mean, watch this. So nice throw. Remy, nice catch. Keeps his feet and then runs away from him.
Yeah.
What a great play by Brennan Remy.
Great play by
Mitch Bolden, right?
The play.
And look at this, blocking downfield.
That
made it into a non-event. Made it an obvious touchdown.
Instead of going inside the 5 and running more talk off.
And you know what? With 8:26, that's important.
That's very
right.
Important.
I mean, even just to save even if they scored anyway, it's important to get this back in here.
2 or 3 minutes to score. Where that block gets him in the end zone right there. So
you also it becomes a momentum play because if you don't score, you push it in, and you kick a field goal. It's deflating. Now you're in the end zone. St. X what's going on? That hurts.
That really hurts.
Yeah, the snap didn't get to the holder very cleanly.
Snap.
Well,
I still think they needed 2 touchdowns to win this game, and that's still the case.
So the key here is you need to keep the momentum. You can't let that deflate you.
No.
You need Bond to kick this ball deep near the goal line. You need to tackle the guy. I mean, when Bond typically either it's been a touchback or he's kicked the ball inside the inside the 3-yard line, which even the last time they had a decent return, but with the penalty it started inside the 20.
Right.
Kick coverage.
The kicking team's been effective for West.
Kickoff has been a good play, so that's key. 8:26 to go.
Like I said before, West needed 2 touchdowns to win this game. They still need one more touchdown to win the game. And a stop. They need to stop them. Because now if you get the field goal, you're saying X, and that's big there because X would be up by 7 right now if they kick that field goal.
Yep.
So that decision to go for it there might hurt them. I'd have kicked it, took the points, and put more pressure on West.
So here we go. 8:26 to go, fourth quarter. Lakota West 9, St. X 13. A lot of momentum on Lakota West side. Here goes Bond kicking off.
Certainly a lot.
Oh, he's going to do a little pooch.
Well,
Pretty good play by St. X. Number 80 there was smart enough to catch the ball.
we got a penalty. That's not going to help if that's against
And
West.
yeah, that's going to start
That's
the ball.
a
And
15-yarder. That's going to put them at the
that's going to start the ball in Lakota West territory. Not what you needed.
No. And all I can think is a late hit.
I'm guessing the kickoff was, the hope was that the return team, took off all the way down the field, right? And they didn't, and you could drop that ball in behind them.
Right.
Fortunately for St. X,
Good thought. You're trying to win there. If you get that that kick there, St. X starts sucking up everywhere, and they're like, holy crap.
So
the
number
wheels are
80,
off.
Jack McClatchy, a really nice play for
Really
St.
nice
X.
play.
Now he should have called a fair catch,
Sure.
but really nice play there.
If he
So
would have, maybe the West wouldn't have hit him late.
So here we go, 1st and 10, St. X from the 45. So, boy, now we had a blocked extra point, bad snap. We have a
So
badly
pressure on the-
badly executed penalty play on the kick. Can Lakota West, does that give St. X momentum back? Gains
Little
about
bit.
5.
That certainly doesn't help to come up with first down and pick up 5 yards.
So here we go, 2nd and 5. 8:12 to go in the game. Lakota West, now they're going to have to make a play.
Yes.
Right, I mean, if you kicked it, I'm a little surprised. Although you know what, they may have been watching them, and those guys just took off to go back and block.
Well, and again, you do not want to get in a field goal here because it's 7 points at that point. So you want to keep them out of field goal range if at all possible.
So here we
You gotta
go,
find out where 82 is and watching.
and here he is lined up here on the right side
Right
as
here
a
on the, bottom part
coming
of
in
the
motion.
screen, In motion.
He's going to crack back on the block. Nothing from the
Good
run.
defense
3rd and
there.
5. Really nice play. I think that's Fussell, number 2 off the corner. Looks like he's a little slow getting up. Hopefully he's okay. A huge play. Right, 3rd and 5, 7:30 to go. They're going to snap this ball under 7 minutes.
On 3rd and 5, they went deep. So what are they going to do here, Brent?
So they've had success, 82 deep and a tight end underneath a couple times, right? That's where they've got most of their passing yards.
And the quarterback rolling out and running.
So here 82 is on the bottom of the screen. 3 receivers to the left. 1 back out there. It looks like he's just going to throw it straight out. See what kind of tackle. Boy, Lakota West is good.
Wow.
What a nice play.
What a great job on tackling in the open field because that kid's tough to bring down.
I mean, so how many times have we seen Lakota West make a tackle in the open field? That's not the norm in high school,
No.
right? I mean, there's been
And they
several of
held
those
on
things.
till help arrives.
So here we go, 4th down and 6 or 7 for St. X. They're going to try to pen West
So
deep.
can we see another special teams play here?
It looks like, is that Giovanni Wilson deep
yeah.
this time? See what he can do. Return. We've seen Remy back there. We've seen some other who had that nice touchdown run catch. Some good pressure. It looks like he's going to kick it into the end zone. Okay. So here you go, Dan. 6:15 to go, 4th quarter. Lakota West trailing by 4 points. So obviously you need a touchdown. Right? I mean, I guess you could get a quick field goal, but you need a touchdown. Starting at your own 20.
Here, yes.
You've had some success, right? Defense has been pretty good this half. They haven't given up any points. Offense has shown some spark. They haven't finished the plays the way they would like, but they've definitely shown more life here than they showed in the first half. Special teams has been hit or miss.
Both sides have shown more spark in the second half than the first half.
So see what happens here. Look, earlier it was Lakota West wasn't quite set. Here, St. X looks like they're a little unsure in their alignment. See what happens. Bolden's just going to throw the short underneath pass. I think that's Remy again. They're going to keep the ball in. The clock
Right out of
won't
bounds,
running.
Stop the clock.
Now they're going to keep it running, it looked like, but he's
They are.
looks like he's going to get about 7. So, you can do that. I mean, you got enough time for that, right? It's still 6 minutes. You can run the 7 and 8 yard plays. You hope then eventually you break something
The
loose.
whole playbook's here at 6 minutes to go
Because frankly, your goal would be to score with
on the last play.
under a minute. So here we go. Bolden's going to run the ball again. Nothing.
That's
gonna-
just not there.
Yeah, maybe he gained a yard.
Maybe.
So maybe it's 3rd and 2. The easy thing here is he just has to get right to the 30 because it was a touchback. So it's a true 2 yards. 3rd and 2 here. So you're 5:25.
Jet sweep?
I mean, they haven't stopped that for less than 4 or 5 yards, have they?
They have not. I don't think they've stopped it for less than 7.
You know, Wilson's been pretty effective at that.
Very effective.
Remy, I think, had one successful.
He did.
Here we go. 13 seconds on the play clock. Well, you certainly want to get this play snapped. You've already used a timeout. You definitely don't want to use one here. St. X is pretty tight to line of scrimmage. Looks like it's not the jet sweep. Wilson's going to go down the field. Threw it underneath. I think it got tipped again. Looked like it ended up behind Kobe Taylor because it got tipped.
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, I don't know. They're
We'll see that
throwing the ball
again.
A lot, but
So it looks like
he's keeping the offense on the field right now.
I think they thought they were going to get Giovanni Wilson to fool the defense. Solid protection.
So
just
Bolden going all in here. They're going to punt.
Just a good play by number 3.
They're going to punt.
Yeah, 3 on the defense there. PJ Rose with just got a finger or 2 on it, and that was enough to have the ball go behind the receiver.
Boy, we're missing Trent Lloyd right now.
Yeah, that's certainly been a challenge for him, right?
Yeah.
You know, one more
That's a big
dynamic
loss having Trent Lloyd out right now.
You know, a dynamic playmaker who's focused only on offense. So a little bit of a line drive punt. Ooh. That was a nice job fielding it by the St. X player. He's going to advance it out to the 47-yard line. So
yeah, that looked like it almost went by his shoulder pad.
Pretty solid return. That was challenge, right? It was the smart play. He came up and caught it on the fly. If he lets that hit, it could win another 20 yards. So 4:49 to go. St. X 13, Lakota West 9. St. X ball.
Right here, West needs a 3 and out.
Yeah, they almost have to have a 3 and out or a turnover. And they've had a couple balls late in that first half. They had one on the ground that woulda, shoulda, coulda been able to jump on it.
Or can West be opportune here on defense and force a turnover?
And you always get a little nervous, right, when you're trying to make plays on defense. That's when you sometimes give up plays. Looks like they're going to run the ball again based on the play there. Nothing. That's Napier again, and he got, I think, no gain.
But I think St. X going to keep the ball on the ground, run the ball, and let this clock go.
4:37, 2 timeouts left.
Because the timeout West took, they're down to 2 that they took earlier on that 3rd down play.
So let me ask you this. And it looks like Lakota West. Looks like Elijah Eli. Looks like Eli Davis. Maybe another. I'm guessing perhaps a cramp again, right? He's been down a couple times. So here's a big play. So let me ask you this, Dan. 4:25 to go in the half. If you stop him here, do you take a timeout if you're Lakota West? Or do you allow that clock to run 40 seconds again?
Right now you let it go. You'll probably need those timeouts on offense. And
Interesting.
Maybe call a timeout if they don't do well here.
Interesting. 4th down. There's 82, who's been the nemesis, moves to the left side. They're going to. Yeah, that's illegal formation at this point, I believe. Good pressure. Oh, good finish. So Hartford stepped in front of it, and then Drew Minnick finished the play off before went actually for the catch. So it's going to be a penalty on but you leave them at 3rd and 10, right?
Right.
And the clock stopped on the incompletion?
I think so.
I'm assuming it's a 5-yard penalty here, right? It looked like a formation when the guy went in motion.
Give him another chance. Throw the ball. Just go 3rd down and 10 right here.
Yeah, it's a procedure.
So
here we go.
Foul.
3rd and 10, and no, it was motions, or it was procedure. They were in the wrong alignment.
Right.
So clock is stopped. 3:54 to go. Decline the penalty, yeah. If you decline it, it's 3rd and 10 with a stopped clock, and you still have 2 timeouts.
Yes. Although, was that dead ball foul?
No, because it was the formation.
Oh, okay. They still show 2nd down.
It's 3rd down because they've declined it. You can see the official down here trying to signal it.
There we go.
Huge play, right? As you've said before, where's 82? Big play here for the game. Really, the game on the line here, under 4 minutes. You're going to have him out to the outside.
And drop the ball.
So 2 things going on there. The first one is, even if he catches it, with Hartford closing, he's not going to get a 1st down.
No.
He's going to be short and out of bounds. Here's the replay.
And go out of bounds and stop.
But a nice formation, right? They ran somebody inside out.
So West defense steps up, does their job.
Yeah. And that's the key, right? He dropped it, which stops the clock and everything
And
else.
they throw the ball twice to stop the clock. So
But the way the
they
game's
didn't lose
gone,
much time.
I like to think Hartford was going to stop him for no gain.
I mean, if you run the ball twice there, there's under close to 2 minutes left in the game is all there is.
So here you go. Interesting. I think it's false start here on the right. Oh, terrible punt. He's going to call this offsides. I think I want to see this again. I think they reacted to the offense, but 4th and 5. So you're still punting. It just gives the likelihood of worse field position. Oh, Brennan Remy, who's returning the punt, when he ran forward on that one, he looked like maybe that same cramp. Shoot. So they're going to need to move somebody else out there to return kick.
I guess put Walt Wilson back out there. He's been a pretty effective running the football.
I think you're right. So, again, 3:48 to go. St. X 13, Lakota West 9. Lakota West has 2 timeouts left. St. X is lined up to punt from inside Lakota West territory. Now, there's the shame, too, right? If you don't have the penalty, he punted it and shanked a punt. Would have been Lakota West ball around their own 40. See what happens here. They actually moved Ben Minnick back to return to kick, so obviously a playmaker as well. So we'll see what happens here. He's lined up, though, on his 10-yard line. So this is one of those, hopefully, you want to catch it clean.
Yes. You definitely got to catch it.
Back to punt. Decent pressure. Good high kick. Minnick makes the catch. Good job just running it up the sideline.
Excitement, though. I mean,
yeah.
I was a little bit nervous about that catch.
But he's going to get the ball out past the 20-yard line.
So it's 1st and 80 with 3:39 left to go in this football game. Touchdown, you win the game. Field goal is out of play because they missed the extra point.
So we'll see what happens here. Looks like a little confusion over the spot. They're going to make it the 25. Well, Dan, is there anything special? Is there anything that if you're Lakota West you've been saving? Is there anything you can do different here? Is there anything you've set up?
Just not
what you've done so far.
Stay away from running quarterback draw.
They're still playing that man on the outside. You have not been able to take advantage of that. I mean, kudos to St. X, right? Plenty of time to throw the ball.
Safeties deep.
There's plenty of time. Bolden's going to run it, tuck it, and he's going to get another 10, 11 yards.
Out of bounds. Yeah, that worked out all right. Good play.
Mitch Bolden in open field is a load.
But that's where it's effective. When it's not the designed run, he's effective.
Yeah.
When he throws them back and makes them run down the field and cover their men, then it opens it up for him.
I mean, many quarterbacks, that would have been a loss of 5. And by the time Mitch is done, it's a gain of 11.
Right.
And one of the St. X rushers is down.
But that is where he's effective. By just doing the drop back, straight quarterback draw, they're ready for it. They've seen it 1,000 times already.
Do you feel like that's the option they're taking away? Because
Yes.
West hasn't been successful throwing it downfield?
They're trying to take him out of the game.
I think about this
As a runner.
As a defensive strategy, you're playing man on the outside. You haven't been burned with it yet.
No.
You're playing in the middle. You're playing, okay, keep the quarterback contained.
They're playing cover 2 deep with their safeties. I mean, they're man-to-man outside, but the 2 safeties are getting deep. They're not letting anybody get behind them, and they're looking at the outside receivers. So, again, guess what's open? Underneath. Get the football to one of your playmakers, 10, 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and let them in open field and let them score. That's what happened on the last touchdown. He got open field, and he ran away from them.
Do you look at your tight end a little bit?
Yes.
Formationally, they haven't had a tight end on the field much. But
No.
do you do something like that to try to change up that look?
I think so.
That moves that defensive end further out, right?
And their tight end 6'7".
That moves the defensive end further out.
Without
Another
a doubt.
3-4 feet. Now, here's another question, right? You got 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. One of their defensive linemen is out. It doesn't look like anything serious, thank goodness. Do you try to take advantage of that in some way? Do you think screen? Do you do something just to?
That just keeps them in a middle screen, maybe. Where you get them in the middle of the field again?
Do you try to confuse that rush a little bit here? They only have the one line.
Screen would be effective.
They just have the
here.
one linebacker in the middle, and they got one out here, right open across the middle. Wow. I feel like I've said that a few times. Wide open. I mean, and it went through the receiver's hand, and then fortunately for West, it went through the defender's hands. Although
we're not catching anything deep for whatever. Our receivers cannot catch the ball. Trent Loyne's not in there. Please hit a back or somebody underneath. Look how open the underneath.
and the throw was a little high. But that's the other thing. That's one of those. Do you catch it as opposed to keep trying to run? Right? Do you realize that
hit a running back underneath and let him run? 2nd
and 10 for Lakota West. Bolden back to pass. A big opening up the middle if he wants it. He's going to throw the ball to Fussell, excuse me. He's going to end up getting about 8. So 3rd and 2. Boy, it looked like he almost trying to get to the first down. He almost lost the catch.
But and again, you're in 2 down with 3:06 left. You've got to go 2 downs here.
So what do you think jet sweep again here? Do you look at that?
Jet sweep, or he's probably going to go quarterback draw.
Bring one of the 2 slots across? Nope.
There he goes, quarterback draw.
He's short.
He's getting short.
He's short. It's 4th and 1.
I knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. You've got to show me something different. I mean, you're right. Jet sweep.
We're going to see this, right? I mean, the rush. They've got 3 in the front, but this is St. X 3-3-5, right? 3 in the front, 3 linebackers, and unfortunately,
they're not respecting the pass.
The hole he went in was right where that guy was filling, and that's why they run these 3-3-6s, right? Because you're hoping, and he got the first down and more. Wow, got about 5.
Yeah.
So Dan, let me ask this: we just see the drive, and I get it, 2:10 to go, but boy. Should we looked at maybe a little bit more power running earlier?
They're not giving the ball to anybody but Mitch. And, I mean, you're showing the GMC how to play you. Just take Mitch Bolden's run away, and West doesn't have a lot.
Good catch again by Remy. Oh, my goodness.
What a nice catch that was.
I think he's hurt again. I'm hoping it's still a cramp. I know he's had several. There's another Lakota West player. I think that might be Wilson going down.
He might be out of breath. That looks like he's out of air. He got hit in the midsection.
So
I think he just lost his breath.
We've talked.
Watch, if they pick up his midsection, he's just sucking air.
We've talked a lot about the Lakota West receivers not making plays. Brennan Remy's made a couple really nice plays. I mean, this is
right there.
Yeah, this is a nice catch again. I mean, he caught it. Got hit right as he hit it.
He goes down, gets hit, and they land on his stomach. I think he knocked the air
maybe even land on the ball then on the final.
Knocked the wind out of him.
But that's going to be a 1st and 10 Lakota West at the 32-yard line. Now, unfortunately, because of that extra point, you need a touchdown. But still,
extra point, you're in field goal range.
But again, 2 timeouts left. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. You just have to continue some successes. And darn it, and you're right, Dan. It looks like it's just he got hit in the midsection, not out.
Man, when it's 3rd and short, they're bringing everybody in the middle. That jet sweep would work so well. They'd be outside the front 7 in 2 steps.
Here we go. Clock running, 1:47. Back to pass again is Bolden. They're only rushing 4. Boy, might have got away with a hold in the middle there, but he's going.
But it was where they look at pass action. They were passing there.
But again, nice scramble, 1st down, 1st and 10.
That was not a quarterback draw. That was actually a design.
I wasn't sure in the middle here if that could have been a hold right there, but you know what? Great block. They didn't call anything. So 1st and 10, Lakota West at the 22-yard line.
Well, moving the football, can they pull this thing out with 1:21 to go?
Bolden back to pass again. A little more pressure. He's got him into the end zone. Overthrew him a bit, I believe. Great job picking up the pressure, right?
I can't believe these plays are designed.
They rushed 6.
They had 2 guys in 5 yards of the ball.
Yeah,
that can't be the design of that pass.
I think they were vertical routes, but they rushed 6. And he had time.
Yeah, just overthrew it a little bit.
They definitely made
Lakota.
Lakota.
Look how close these receivers end up. This cannot be the design of this play.
They brought 6 guys up to the line of scrimmage and ran them. Yep.
How do you get 2 guys that close together?
I think he just drifted wide. On his, he was probably supposed to stay
more
right on the hash, and he drifted out.
Split the 2 safeties.
Here we go. Bolden back to pass again. He's going to throw quick out of the backfield. He dropped the ball, incomplete.
Wow.
Couldn't quite get, and I don't know that that's terrible. That would have been, even if he held on to it and got tackled, it was only about a 3-yard gain. I like the play call. It just wasn't quite there. So,
probably lucky they didn't call it a fumble.
Clock stopped, 1:08 to go. 3rd and 10. Obviously, you need a touchdown, so you're definitely in 4-down territory. Here's again, do you try to go underneath and make sure you get somewhere more than 5?
Absolutely, I'd go
and
underneath.
give you options.
But I'd be going underneath all day because they're giving it to you.
Only rushing
Again,
3
nobody
this
underneath
time.
here.
Bolden. Really not.
Wow.
That is a nice throw.
That
But,
was a little Patrick Mahomes in there.
So, and let's talk about this, right, Dan? You always say don't throw it late back across the middle. In this situation, they had to do something. Right? 3rd and 10, you're late. I think that was Remy again, wasn't it?
It was Remy, 14.
Thank you.
Look at this little Patrick
Remy has,
Mahomes
I mean,
running that way and throwing back.
I mean, that's nice
That's a
touch.
tough throw. That's a tough throw.
Ball's on the 6-yard line. He's going to throw it away.
Good. That was actually good. Under
Good play.
pressure. Nobody at wide. You don't want to throw an interception there. Just throw it away.
So you still have. So let's think about this, right? It's 2nd and 10. You're 1st and goal, or 2nd and goal now, right? You have 2 timeouts. You have plenty of time. 44 seconds. There's plenty of time.
And you got 2 timeouts.
You're gonna. That's what I'm saying. So you're going to be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah,
You can
no
run the
time
ball. You can
problems
do.
here
You can
at
do
all.
whatever you want here.
And any incomplete pass stops the play. Stops the clock. You can run the ball here. You do anything you want.
I mean, you got to think about Remy, right? Timeout, Lakota West. Ouch.
I don't think Bolden liked the play.
And that's the thing, right? If you were, I mean, your 2nd and goal at the 6. Obviously, if you didn't have the play you wanted.
Well, that's where I'm wondering if they got another quarterback draw called up, which has not been working, and you're going to get stopped in the middle of the field for little to no gain, and that's not probably the play he wants to see.
Well, it may not have been an artistic masterpiece,
No.
but a pretty exciting game here for the opening
They've
week.
given themselves a chance to win. And it would be apropos to beat at St. X on the last play of the game, much like they beat us here 2 years ago in the playoffs. After West dominated the entire game, gave up a touchdown pass at the end. Opposite end zone, but hopefully same result would be a West win.
Here we go. Bolden back to pass. It's a screen. It's tipped. It's caught.
Down to 5.
It looks like just inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah,
3rd and
you gotta
goal.
go timeout. Yeah.
You only have 1 left, but you have 30 seconds.
I think you're going to throw the ball anyway.
You're 3rd and 4.
But I think that tip ball prevented the touchdown because
Yeah.
that was wide.
Yeah.
They were open.
So third and goal from the 4. Wow.
Well, they're making it interesting, aren't they?
And you, as you said, you have 28 seconds. So,
Yeah.
and
You got
this is
2
the other thing,
plays
right?
left.
You need
I
to
mean,
have 2 plays called.
Pretty sure they're not kicking a field goal or punting here, so they got 2 plays left.
So you just need to know you can't spike it because
Right.
it's right. It would be 4th
That would
down.
effectively end the game.
So what you have to do is have 2 plays ready to go,
Yes.
and there's time. There's plenty of time to run 2 plays.
And really, inside the 5, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm guessing they're going to roll Bolden out.
You
Let him
have
make
to,
a
don't you?
decision. Yeah.
I think
you get to let him make the decision whether he can get in or not.
and if it's me, I think I like to bring Remy from the back. I roll him away from Remy, let Remy come back with him.
Yes.
And
Little
I know
drag underneath.
you never want to throw it late across the middle, but it's the 4-yard line.
Right.
It's been pretty successful so far, that connection.
Yeah, bring it, Remy, from the backside, roll out to your right to the field side,
So-
and let Bolden use his athleticism.
So Remy's wide. I mean, you have Hartford and Minnick on the left. As a defense, you have to respect that. Here goes Bolden. He's just going to throw the slant.
Incomplete.
Now,
Incomplete.
this is what gets interesting.
What?
So, right, it's a penalty, holding interference. Doesn't matter. It's going to be
Interference on the
likely
goal-
first
on the
down.
goal
No,
line.
it's holding. Okay. So now you're at the 2 with 24 seconds to go.
That first down, though?
No, it is not in high school.
So it'll still be 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 2 now.
Because the holding didn't result in a first down.
So, no, I stand corrected.
What's that?
It is a first down.
First down.
I am correct. It is 3rd down. Everybody, the line guys, the scoreboard people, they were all wrong. I was right.
They were.
Dan, can you say that again for me?
You were right.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that. But you
Third-
still got the ball on what, the 2-yard line?
3rd and 2. Again, you talk about you can do anything you want. So they ran the slant. That was interesting. I mean, they hadn't used that yet.
Well, you got anything in the playbook here. 24 seconds left, and it's third down. So you got 2 plays.
Defense all at the line of scrimmage. Bolden back. He's going to throw the same pattern again. He caught it. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Lakota West. Holy crap. And there's the lights.
Now you're going to laugh. The officials have not yet signaled it. They're talking to each other. The lights, the fans, the team, everybody else knows it's a touchdown. The officials were having a little bit of a conversation, right? Everybody else knew it was a touchdown, but the officials wanted, and hey, you know what?
Wanted to make sure it didn't hit the ground.
Well, and the receiver was coming toward the guy in the middle, so he wanted to ask the backside guy.
Well, they come back, same play, hit the slant play that time, and slant's tough to stop, as you know.
Especially with the running quarterback, because if he runs the draw, you can't be guarding that.
You never know.
And the extra point way through, which is only valuable because a field goal not only ties it, if something crazy happens.
Right.
I guess so. Here's a replay.
Here.
So Bolden.
How many times outs does X have? All 3
just
of them?
right back there. A little bit forced. I mean, you could have argued the offense initiated some contact there, but
he kind of threw it behind him, though.
Great. Well, you know what, though? He threw it into his body at least, right? So great throw and catch.
So do you squib kick this or
Dan,
like half kick?
You got a kicker who kicks it deep.
Let him kick it to the end zone.
Kick it to the end zone. Okay, look at the guys you've got on your kick cover. You've got Hartford and Minnick and Fussell. I mean, if these guys can't tackle on, I don't know, Dan. I mean, I just
don't want to return here.
I think anytime you do something out of your norm, you give yourself the potential of a problem.
That's very true.
Every deep kick has either been in the end zone or they've had a penalty on the return team. They've started deep. So, quick recap, right? Lakota West 16. First lead of the game for Lakota West. 21 seconds to go. I mean, 75 yards.
Take that, right?
75 yards. Well, what did we say? Their goal was 75 yards and not leave any time on the clock.
That's right, and they did.
So here goes
touchdowns.
Here goes Tyler Bond. Here's your kicker. Again, I'm
all 16 points coming in the second half.
So it's in between, right? And it goes in the end zone.
That worked.
Now, question for you, Dan. Why didn't the clock start? Oh, now it did. It touched the guy outside the end zone. So it had to, and they did run a second now.
They run a second.
I think they were on the same page as me. Why didn't anything happen? So
because you're always right.
Now, I don't think that's always the case.
Well, Michelle doesn't think so.
She knows that's not always the case.
I do. I think you're always right.
Thanks, Dan. And you know what? And Janine probably feels the same, huh?
I'm never right.
Well, here we go. 20 seconds to go. So, do you do anything special with 82? I mean, I see they've got Minnick lined up with him.
Him under, over, and if he goes to the bathroom, I'd zip it up for him.
So, right. So we see Ben Minnick, and I apologize when Ben Minnick, because Drew is also out there.
I would tell whoever's guarding him, if 82 gets behind you, you're going to run until practice is over tomorrow.
And you know that's interesting with West, right? They've got 2 deep, but their point. Only rushing 3, no pressure, thrown across the middle. Oh, my Lord.
Oh,
what a hit. That's Malik Hartford. How?
Defenseless receiver in high school?
That's
do they even have that rule in high school?
I'm not. They have a personal foul or an unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness, I'm guessing. But he's separated.
I think he hits him in the.
I think he hit him in the chest.
It's Hartford's helmet. I think he hits him in the chest. I'm not sure. Let's see this. I mean, it's a huge hit, and it's scary and all that stuff. I'm not sure there's anything wrong with this hit. He hits him in the chest as the ball gets there.
I don't think they have defenses in the high
hits.
School.
Ball's in his hands. He hits him in the chest. There is
with his shoulder.
Dan, there is no. I mean, it's a huge hit. There is nothing wrong with that hit.
No. Not a thing.
I get it, and that's. I mean, football's a contact sport.
I don't get to call on that though.
The ball is. I mean, he doesn't hit him above the neck. All those things that make it penalties, that isn't it.
He didn't lead with the helmet either.
You're still allowed to hit people hard.
Yes, you are.
And how do you call him defenseless? He's bringing the ball in.
Yeah, he's already caught the ball.
I mean, you're allowed to hit him.
And you're allowed to try and separate the ball from it.
And, I hope he's not injured and all those kind of things. But I tell you what, if you're Ohio State.
This was a big legal hit to me.
Ball's in his hands.
Doesn't lead with his head, turns his shoulder, and puts his shoulder
squarely in the
Head's on
numbers.
outside.
I mean, look at that. You can see his shoulders, his chest, everything.
Yes.
He hits him in the numbers.
I mean, his helmet came off, but his head was on the outside of the shoulder. That's a legal hit. And I'm sure Bolden will send that to the GMC office and go, hey, what's wrong with this hit?
It's just big. I mean, that's one of the things you have. I mean, like I said, again, I hope that there's no injury or anything else here.
Although, that moves.
That's
the
not.
ball.
So he called targeting, which makes no sense, ejection, which makes no sense. He does not make contact above the neck.
No.
Oh, that is just terrible.
It was not a forcible contact.
That is awful.
That is stupid. I mean, that is a terrible
And
call.
this is the shame that if you are in college, they would
Replay.
review this and it would not be.
It would not be.
Or in the pros. I mean,
That
again,
was not targeting.
trying to
at
be
all.
clear, I hope he's not injured. It's a huge hit.
And I'm sure Tom Bolden's telling him that right now. Tom
But
didn't have
there-
the benefit of a replay.
I mean, that's like saying you hit him too hard.
Yeah.
That's really all they're calling. You hit him too hard.
I mean, I don't know the exact rule in high school, but they did call targeting and threw him out.
You just tell me if there's a rule in high school that says you can't hit the guy that has the ball in the
a certain
chest,
way.
right?
That's
In the
exactly
chest.
what they
Now,
did.
I mean, he
Or you're
didn't.
going to get thrown out of the game.
Now, the theory would be that they're saying that he led with his helmet. That's why his helmet came out. He didn't. He put his
didn't.
helmet across him.
He did not. His head was on the outside framework of the body when
How does he-
contact was made.
They're giving him a catch and a penalty. Did he hold on?
Yeah, they threw the penalty.
The ball was held.
The ball was what?
He caught it.
No, but I think it's from the spot.
You can't give him the yards and the.
I don't know. They just did.
Did he plant? The ball might have got implanted in him. I guess I
No,
missed that on the
ball rolled
replay.
away.
He caught it.
The ball
Well-
rolled away. There's no way he caught that or completed that catch.
So targeting is now a spot call.
Apparently.
Yeah, I think I'm. Dan, maybe I'm wrong because there's a few things there that make no sense to me. 2nd and 10 incompletion. Now, obviously, you've lost Hartford for the game, and I don't know. In high school, was he out the first half next game
I don't
against
know.
Lakota East? I'm not sure. I really don't know.
I don't know either. And they play East next week.
They
don't
do.
That'd be a big loss.
So
in the first
10
half.
seconds to go. Lakota West up 3. Ball at the 39-yard line. From the ex-kicker so far, I wouldn't think this is in field goal range. I saw him
No.
try from 50.
They
And
need 20 yards.
he tried from 50 at halftime, and he was well short.
They need 20 yards.
So here he goes back to pass, trying to get some yards there. Good play by O'Malley. Went back the other way. Now he's going to be in field goal range. Out of bounds near the 30.
You think? I think he needed more than that. 30. That's a 47-yard kick. You think that kid's got that leg?
This is about right what he hit with no rush at halftime.
I mean, they almost have to go for it. 'cause they
2
only got
seconds.
2
So this is
seconds
it, though. You either kick it here, and if you're saying X, I think you take the timeout.
Yeah,
Don't
they're
you have
calling
to
that,
try the
yeah.
field goal?
I think it's a 47-yard kick.
But it's 2 seconds. This is your last play.
You got to
And
try it.
absent a penalty. This is your last play.
I don't know if the kid's got the leg or not. 47 yards in high school is a big kick.
I'm
But,
just
you
thinking,
know-
though. I guess if you can't make it, you can't make it. But gosh, again, he was warming up from 50 yards.
Does that give you a better shot than trying a, some kind of 30-yard pass play here
Right? I mean, try to find. I mean,
against one of the best defensive corner or defensive safeties in the world? Or at
So-
least in the GMC. I don't know about the world, but the
kicker is
safety-
warming up over on the sideline. I just feel like at 47 yards, there's a
Maybe
better
he just-
chance there than a 30-yard touchdown.
Maybe he just likes 82's chances.
I-
They're going to kick it.
I just feel like, again, he was warming up from 50 at halftime. He didn't make it, but my mind says you don't warm up from that unless you
How
think
short
there's a
was he?
chance.
How short was he?
3 or 4 yards from 50.
So that's about puts
That's-
him in range.
And that's usually what you do, right? You check him at halftime and before the game to see what you got tonight. So here we go. Lakota West has already blocked one kick. Actually, it could have been a false start on the kicker, and it's going to not make it. And that's your ball game.
Lakota West pulls
What
up
a comeback for Lakota West. Dan, so wrap it up for us tonight. Pretty cool light show.
Wow, Lakota West may not have deserved that game, but they sure won it.
And you know what? They persevered. Bolden showed a heck of a lot of Mitch, a lot of composure, right? 2 or 3 times he stood back there.
I think you got to give credit to the coaching staff on this, Brent.
settle them
got
down.
the kids up. You know, they increased the emotional
0
part
points.
in the second half, and they did a good job coaching and shutting down what they were doing. I mean, they didn't score in the second half.
0 points, yeah, right. I mean, they got them reset at halftime. It still wasn't artistic in the second half. But you know what?
They tale of two halves, and
they needed 14. They got 16.
They got 16.
And if they would have scored another touchdown, they still would have just won.
Right.
Well,
wow.
So from Firebird Stadium,
pretty exciting game to start the season.
Lakota West 16, St. X 13. Good night, everybody.